watching ESPN on ABC.
Today from Ann Arbor, the Michigan Wolverines looking to return to national prominence, shoot for their 10th win, and perhaps a BCS Bowl. The man behind the turnaround is Brady Hope, former Michigan assistant, now in his first year as the head coach. For the first time in 82 years, 2 first-year head coaches in this rivalry. Luke Fickell looking to end Ohio State's disappointing regular season on a positive as the Buckeyes try to win their 8th straight against Michigan.
Scarlet and gray, maize and blue. Every November, the air cools and the leaves fall and the colors mix on a furious palette for an annual prize. It's a game of legends and legacies, history and hostility. Archie, Charles, the Big House, the Horseshoe, Dot the I, Hugh the Victors. It's not just game time. It's time for the game.
Welcome to ESPN's coverage of college football presented by K Jewelers. Inside the Big House, potential NCAA record crowd awaiting the 108th meeting of Ohio State and Michigan. A series dominated the last decade by the Buckeyes. Will that continue today? Inside the broadcast booth, Dave Pasch alongside Chris Spielman. Urban Meyer not with us. He asked off of his ESPN assignments this week, and ESPN obliged. Obviously, Chris, a lot of speculation about the future of the Ohio State program and whether Urban will be the next head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes. Who's going? Who's staying? How does this impact the program getting ready for its biggest game of the season, dealing with all these distractions?
Well, a similar situation happened in 1987 when Earl Bruce, the head coach of the Buckeyes then, my senior year, was fired the week of the Michigan game. Earl did a great job of making it about the game itself and the players. Luke Fickell has done that. Despite the record, Luke Fickell has shown great leadership to keep this team together, keep them united as one, and focus them on this game, which is often referred to as a season in itself. I promise you this, if Luke Fickell and the Buckeyes win today, Luke will be a hero amongst all Buckeye fans.
It would be their 7th win, no BCS Bowl, though. That run of 6 straight coming to an end. Meanwhile, Michigan can go to a BCS Bowl as an at-large. You can't win the Big Ten championship, but still a chance to get to a BCS game. And Denard Robinson, the biggest reason why, coming off his best game of the season, Chris.
Well, Denard Robinson has taken it to a new level, and it started just last week. In the previous games, he hasn't been a Denard Robinson of old, but this is where he is dangerous. Watch him. He's going to look for his first option. Right here. Not there. Second option. Not there. And this is where he causes problems for defenses. If he sees a running lane and can turn it into a positive gain, he has the speed to go the distance or the speed to put so much pressure on a defense that it can drive you crazy. He could have a big day today.
Had 4 touchdowns last week for Michigan in its win against Nebraska. Some feel the most complete Michigan victory in 4 years. The Buckeyes taking the field here in Ann Arbor. And Braxton Miller, quite a challenge for him. The first true freshman Ohio State quarterback to start at Michigan. Art Schlichter, Terrell Pryor also did it as true freshman, but those games were in Columbus. The Big House is ready. 108th meeting, Michigan and Ohio State. Kickoff in one of the great rivalries, not just in college football, but in all of sport, is next.
You're watching ESPN College Football on ABC, presented by Kay Jewelers.
Michigan in the middle of its longest losing streak in the series with Ohio State. Going back to 2003, 2,926 days since the last win against the Buckeyes. Now down to the field, and the third member of our crew, here's Quint Kesnick.
Dave, this stadium is beyond electric. Michigan fans starving for a win in the series. With that in mind, I spoke to Brady Hoke, Michigan head coach, just a few moments ago. He said his biggest challenge is managing execution and emotion. He's worried that the excitement in this arena will affect their performance, especially in the first 5 minutes of this ball game. Meanwhile, on the far side of the field, Luke Fickell, while he's only 38 years old, told me he's going to draw upon his experience in this series. 4 years as a player, 10 years as an assistant coach. He said the team that wins this ball game, it's not about talent. It is strictly about passion. Some significant injury news to report for the Buckeyes there. Starting linebacker Andrew Sweat, who leads the team in tackles, dislocated elbow on Wednesday in practice. He is ruled out completely. No Andrew Sweat for the Buckeyes, Dave.
All right, thanks for that report, Quint. Michigan has won the toss and deferred. You didn't see that often the last few years, but the incredible turnaround by Michigan's defense, giving up almost 20 points per game fewer than last year. They are 6th in the nation in scoring defense, so they're going to put their defense on the field first.
You know, one thing I would do if I were Ohio State, because of the energy and because of the emotion involved with the defense, especially a pursuing defense like Michigan, I would try some type of misdirection, reverse. A lot of times you can catch a team because they're so emotional, they're flying to the ball, and they forget about their responsibilities on the backside of the play. Just something to keep your eye on.
Kickoff for Michigan. Jordan Hall is the deep man. And it will come out to the 20. True freshman quarterback Braxton Miller, who did not start at the beginning of the year. It was Joe Bauserman, but Miller, for all intents and purposes, the replacement for Terrell Pryor. And he's had some excellent games running the football, including over 100 yards last week against Penn State. He is under 50% completion rate, but has not turned it over a lot, just 3 picks. And he gets the help of having DeVere Posey back. We'll talk more about that. And Dan Herron, an outstanding tailback as well. Neither team can play in the Big Ten championship, but still a lot at stake. As Miller throws complete, and there's Posey, and he is tackled after a gain of 5. Our impact players brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
You talk about, first of all, you have DeVere Posey, really a deep threat. Also, a lot of confidence because he's a veteran. He can create separation, and he's kind of a confidence builder for Braxton Miller. Kenny Demmons, Ohio State's known to pound the football. Kenny Demmons, a leading tackle for Michigan, will be in the action all day.
I mentioned Posey. He was suspended twice, 2 5-game suspensions for selling memorabilia and receiving benefits. Here's Herron, and he doesn't get much. Craig Rowe leading the way as you see Michigan's front 4 so improved this year. Mike Martin, an outstanding senior nose tackle, second team all Big Ten a year ago, really become the heart and soul of this Michigan D.
Started his senior year off a little slow. Really, the last 4 ball games, he's been dominant on the inside.
Ohio State, 108th in total offense, 118th in passing, and you would expect the throw here on 3rd down and 4. As Miller has an open man out of the backfield, and Jordan Hall able to get the first down before he steps out at the 30-yard line.
Understanding and seeing blitz is what Braxton Miller did on that play. Saw the pressure, and you know that Jordan Hall out in space can make something happen. He's working out there, number 90 for Michigan. Ryan And that's a matchup Ohio State will take all day, but that's recognition by Braxton Miller, seeing the blitz and throwing to the outlet.
Here's Miller dropping back and got a man wide open in the middle of the field. Posey, but the pass was way off the mark by Miller. But Posey poses problems for defenses. You've got to respect the wide receiver, and he was open there.
Sometimes that can be a little bit of anxiousness on Braxton Miller's part. Just trust what you do, trust your footwork. And you see right there, he threw one in the dirt. But I like the play calling. It's been somewhat aggressive by Jim Bowman, which normally is known to playing close to the vest.
Here's 2nd and 10. And Miller on a quarterback run, trying to get a hole at the 40. And Miller to the 47-yard line. That's a 17-yard gain and a first down. Kenny Demmons eventually on the stop.
Well, he's a dynamic runner, and again, a good play call. They've come out and thrown the ball on 2 first downs. Again, they come with a draw off of that, knowing that they had a little pattern going. Michigan was expecting pass. The linebackers drop. Braxton Miller does a good job of seeing vision and follow good blocking for positive yardage.
Play fake, and Miller on the rollout, looking downfield. Oh my goodness, a man is standing wide open. It's a touchdown for Corey Brown. Michigan fell asleep in the secondary. The first touchdown for Corey Brown, 54 yards. There was not a Michigan defender within 20 yards of him.
There's a reason why DeVere Posey's an impact player, and you'll see in a second how Michigan defenders jump to DeVere Posey, leaving Philly Brown open down the middle of the field.
And Basil on for the point after. 7-0 Ohio State.
Here's where we're throwing the ball. If you're an Ohio State guy, they've been throwing the football to DeVere Posey, number 8. He's going to come in, and you'll see Michigan defenders jump him. Look at the safety right there, jumping DeVere Posey. You have 2 guys on DeVere Posey, leaving that half of the field wide open. Not enough room for the backside safety to get to. And Braxton Miller, staying patient, saw the safety jump, vacate his responsibility, leaving Philly Brown wide open for 6.
He dropped one last week on a long ball, made up for it with a touchdown grab, the 10th touchdown pass for Braxton Miller this year.
And Ohio State knows, and we know this because we watched Michigan's defense 3 times this year. Thomas Gordon, number 30, does get a little bit nosy. He got nosy there, and Braxton Miller and Philly Brown made him pay.
Basil will kick it away to Martavius Odoms and Jeremy Gallen. We're back at the Michigan 10. Luke Fickell this week talked about silencing the crowd early. That's a good start for the Buckeyes in that regard. Odoms makes one man miss at the 20 and then crosses the 25. Now, Denard Robinson's numbers aren't what they were last year, but still pretty good. Although interceptions have been a problem again this year, he still has almost 1,000 rushing yards. He'd be the 10th in Michigan history with consecutive 1,000-yard seasons after he had 1,700 last year, an NCAA record for a quarterback. He's got a pretty good running mate, too. And Fitzgerald Toussaint, he's got a shot to get over 1,000 yards rushing today. From the Michigan 26, they fake the end around, and Robinson is spun down at the 31-yard line, a gain of 5. Our Chick-fil-A impact players.
Well, if I'm a coordinator for Ohio State, the thing I'd be concerned with is Junior Hemingway. A big, strong target, very good with run after catch. Got to keep your eye on Ryan Shazier is taking the place of Andrew Sweat. Last week, 15 tackles. He'll make some mistakes, but he makes them at 100 miles per hour, which Jim Haycock, the defensive coordinator, loves.
10 new starters on this Ohio State defense from last year's group. Still, they're in the top 15 in scoring defense. And here's Toussaint, his first touch, but nowhere to go. Eddie Sabino is there. They've even lost a little bit on the play. It'll bring up third down for Michigan.
Talking to the Michigan coaches, although their numbers haven't proven out, Ohio State's defense looks very good on film at times. At times they're as good as anybody, and other times they're as bad as anybody else. Right now you get the ball into the hands of Denard Robinson, and I would tell him it's 3rd and 5. You see a running lane, tuck it and go if the guy is not wide open. Get the chains moving with your feet if you're forced to make that decision.
Saw him do that last week and had a lot of success. Here he is on 3rd down and 5, looking to throw, and it's incomplete at the 40-yard line. Intended for Odoms. Travis Howard on the coverage, and Michigan will punt it away.
Good job. They're playing a little man. They're doubling up on the inside. Travis Howard looked like he got there a little bit early.
Offense, number 9, penalties declined. 4th down.
And that's where you want to throw the ball low. You want to throw it low and away so that the defender does not disrupt the upper body, so the ball will bounce off the receiver's hands. Throw the ball low where only your guy can get it. He can protect himself from contact from above.
Will Hogrup will punt to Jordan Hall. That's a line drive low kick, but Hall has to field it as it bounces to him, and then a good tackle at the 21-yard line. Delonte Hollowell there on special teams for Michigan. Great start for the road team. And one of the great rivalries in college football, 7-0 Buckeyes early.
College football in high definition is presented by Vizio.
Ohio State with the early 7-0 lead over Michigan. Our rivalry history is brought to you by Sprint. Series dates back to 1897. Michigan in the midst of its longest losing streak in the series. There was some talk after Big Ten realignment that they might move this game from being the last regular season game so that they wouldn't perhaps play back-to-back weeks in the Big Ten championship. I'm going to speak for everybody involved. Thankfully, they kept it where it is, right? How about Ohio State with its longest pass play, 54-yard touchdown, and they're going to the air again. Miller to his check down, Boren, and he's able to pull it in, but not much there on 1st down.
This is the most aggressive play calling Ohio State has done all year. You're coming out throwing the ball on 1st down, and what it shows me is that they have confidence in Braxton Miller and DeVere Posey, and Braxton Miller is patient. Nice job of seeing nothing open downfield and finding the check down, but that's the growth of Braxton Miller and his patience as far as throwing the football.
After a 2-yard gain, he'll throw again, and that one off the mark, intended for Posey. You think about it, Chris. Army and Navy are the only teams worse in passing than Ohio State coming into this game. There are players that have more catches than Ohio State has as a team. But obviously Luke Fickell feels Braxton Miller is qualified to throw the football and win this game today with his arm.
Well, today they feel he's qualified. And if you watched him all year, they weren't very aggressive and they didn't take those shots. Today they're taking those shots. And so far it's paid off. Looks like a blitz. A lot of times Michigan will show blitz and back out and bail.
And here they come. Miller in trouble. Gets hit. Gets away from a defender. And finally goes down. Jordan Kovacs. Kenny Demmons eventually get to him back at the 12.
Because they show blitz and bail, sometimes quarterback thinks they're going to bail, but not here. Jordan Kovacs coming in late. Now, he's going to miss the first shot. But in an Ohio State-Michigan game, you'll never stay on the ground. And I'm telling you right now, Braxton Miller's lucky that Kovacs did not knock that ball loose. Braxton was carrying it loose. Jordan could have came in and swiped it, but he secured the sack. A good call by Greg Madison. Very nice.
Now Buchanan has to punt from his own end zone. Michigan should get good field position. Jeremy Gowan is the deep man. And it's fair caught at the 47-yard line. Later today, BCS bowl bids and spots and conference championships on the line on ESPN and ABC. Coming up at 3:30 from Madison, the Leaders Division title And a spot in the Big Ten championship up for grabs as Wisconsin hosts Penn State. You like the Badgers, Chris, in that game?
I think Wisconsin's the best team in the Big Ten, but Penn State, big win on the road against Ohio State last week. Feels like destiny may be on their side. We'll see.
Play action, and Robinson dumping it off to Tucson. And he stood up at the 41-yard line by Bradley Roby. A good pickup, though, of 6 yards on first down.
A safe call. You want to get Tucson in open space where he is dangerous. It's just like a toss sweep. But a safe call, maybe to get Denard to settle down a little bit, just to have him throw a little swing pass.
Well, you mentioned Tucson. Since becoming a starter, 558 rushing yards in 4 games, a career-high 29 attempts against Nebraska last week. They want to get him the football. Ohio State showing blitz with Roby, and it's a run play. Robinson is free inside the 30. Robinson inside the 10. Touchdown. Robinson's first against Ohio State. Last year against Ohio State, but did not get into the end zone. That's his first career touchdown against the Buckeyes and his 15th rushing score on the season. And after the extra point, we're all tied at 7. 41-yard touchdown run for Denard Robinson. He's over 1,000 rushing yards on the season. Just the 10th in Michigan history to do it twice.
ESPN's College Football on ABC. Brought to you by K Jewelers, the #1 jewelry store in America. Every kiss begins with K. Wendy's Asiago Ranch Chicken Club. And Aviva. We are building insurance around you.
Well, normally a house divided cannot stand, but in this case, apparently it has, although I don't know if it would work in the Spielman compound.
No. That's good. It's a great rivalry. The thing I love about, and Brady Hoke's done such a great job, but the first thing that I noticed when he took the job, the first thing he did was he embraced what the Ohio State-Michigan game is, what it means. And to this day, I mean, I even talked to him. I said, come on, just say Ohio State once, will you?
He won't do it.
No, he won't do it. I don't think he wears red either.
He calls it Ohio, and he actually grew up about 75 miles from Columbus, but Hoke said all of his friends were Ohio State fans. He wanted to be different. He wanted to see how many fights he could get in with his friends, so he decided to be a Michigan fan, and now he's their head coach. That kick sails out of bounds, or out of the end zone, rather. So it's a touchback. It'll come out to the 20.
The great equalizer, speed. Watch Etienne Sabino, number 6, coming to your screen. Has a chance to make the play. He's unblocked off the corner blitz. He's got Denard Robinson in his sights, but when you're that electric, that quick, and that fast, if you're on an open field and you have a shot to make a tackle, you have to, especially against the corner blitz, because the rest of the defenders' backs are turned, and he will outrun anybody, including an Olympic relay team. He's that fast. It's amazing. He should not ever come out of the game. I know I've said this at Michigan. He should not ever come out of the game because of the threat that he is.
He really didn't last week, but in other games this year he did for Devin Gardner. We'll see if that happens today. Another pass play here, and Miller going deep, and Brown is there, but he missed him. Brown got past the true freshman Blake Countess, but Braxton Miller overthrew it.
Right. Here's what Ohio State's doing. Michigan's playing their safeties up close and tight to the line of scrimmage. Countess has to play off and inside. The safety's sitting on a tight end. He's not going to have deep middle. In order to defend that, you have to have your corners be off and inside the wide receiver, because the weakness of that defense is the post, and Ohio State is attacking the post.
10 plays run by the Buckeyes, only 3 running plays, and only 1 by a running back. The other 2 by Miller. There'll be an option here, and Miller will keep, and he's got room, but there's a flag down. Penalty flag at the 18. The gain for Miller was 10, but likely negated.
Well, Braxton Miller is the quarterback for the quote-unquote Urban Meyer offense. You think Denard Robinson's electric. I'm going to tell you.
Holding. Offense, number 44. 10 yards from the previous spot.
With the
second down.
With the spread offense, Braxton Miller will have over 1,200 yards. Here's right here, Zach Bourne. Take a look at the hold. It looks like his hands are inside. Usually you let that one go if the hands are inside, unless you see jersey being separated. Zach Bourne's a good football player. Solid blocker, good hands, reliable. It's a tough call to make in this game with those hands inside.
And now it's 2nd and 20 back at the Ohio State 10.
The alert quarterback a draw, an alert screen if you're the Wolverine defenders.
Another penalty flag. Will Heininger may have been offside for Michigan.
Yeah. One guy said somebody moved, another guy said no, I didn't.
False start. 74 offense. 5 yards. Second down.
That's Jack Mewhort. It's hard to tell whether he went first or Heininger went first, but the officials sorted out to say it's against Ohio State.
Let's take a look and see if we can see who jumped first. See if we get a little hitch. I don't see it right there. It looked like Heininger came sliding down the line of scrimmage. And one thing that tells me is that Michigan's defensive line is not sitting still as stationary targets. They're moving.
Miller from his goal line. He'll take off and run right into Ryan Van Bergen. A loss on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and almost 30.
What did we talk about just now before the play? Watch screen, watch quarterback draw. Greg Madison knows that if I know that. You're going to watch Van Bergen. See the movement? Just split the double team inside, not give up. A miscommunication between Mewhort, number 74, and Brewster, number 50, the center. Both came off the double team and allowed Van Bergen to go in and make a big play.
It's 11 tackle for a loss for Van Bergen. Now 3rd and 27 for Ohio State. And Miller from his end zone, gonna go deep, going for Posey, broken up by Countess. The true freshman making his 5th start. Knocks it away from Posey, it's 4th down.
Closing speed is what you want in a corner, and there's evidence, although he almost mistimed his jump, his closing speed.
And there's a flag in the end zone as well, Chris. A flag in the end zone.
Holding. Offense, number 75. Penalty results. Safety.
Penalty in the end zone on the offense means a safety, and it's 9-7 Michigan, and the Wolverines will get the ball.
Big Mike Adams, the left tackle, doing anything to protect his quarterback. You see him right in your face. Hand gets to the outside. If that hand stays inside, he's okay. At the top of your screen, right up top there. And that's a tough duty. I mean, he got beat off the ball. That's why offensive tackles, the one thing they fear more than anything else is speed, and the ruling is holding in the end zone, automatic safety.
And talk about field position. Ohio State backed up, had to punt from its goal line. Michigan gets the ball in plus territory, and then Denard Robinson takes them in for a touchdown. And with the safety now after bad field position, Michigan leads Ohio State for the first time in 4 years. You got to go back to 2007. They have not beaten Ohio State since 2003. Both teams were in the top 5 that year. Game here in Ann Arbor. So Ohio State now will punt from the 20, and Michigan will get the ball leading by 2.
This is where their defense has to rise up to the challenge. Wolverines got a little roll, a little momentum going. You got to create something for your offense that's frankly struggled all year if you're the Buckeye defense.
Buchanan punting. And here's Gallen across the 40. And Gallen all the way to midfield. Great starting field position again for Michigan. Some pushing and shoving afterwards. No surprise here. And even some of the Michigan players getting in there and pushing other Wolverines, saying, let's not lose our cool.
You don't like that, but one thing it can do, and I've been party to this, is that it can fire up your defense. And it also can fire it up an offense, but right now this is vital and crucial for Luke Fickell's defense.
And Devin Gardner is coming in the game at quarterback for Michigan. Denard Robinson will stay in the game. We did not see this last week against Nebraska, although Gardner has played in 8 previous games in these situations, early in contests, either with Robinson in the game or with Robinson on the sideline. What do you think of it?
I think it's wrong. I think it's the wrong idea. You have Denard Robinson rolling. Now Devin Gardner's, and if I'm the Buckeye defense, I'm anticipating he's in there to hand off the ball. I have an automatic check to whatever my best run defense is, or to some type of blitz to shut that down. If he throws the ball,
Robinson, bottom of your screen. They like to bring him in motion, either hand it to him or fake it to him, and there he goes. And they'll hand it to Robinson here, trying to find a running lane, and he actually gets a handful. Tyler Moeller chasing him out in Ohio State territory.
I understand that. I mean, you want to get Denard Robinson the ball in a little bit different look. But I don't know if you need to go to that look quite yet.
Gardner to the sideline now for 2nd and 5.
Wouldn't be bad if you're Michigan to take a shot downfield, 2nd and 5. State looks to be in a little bit of a man coverage.
Play fake, and the pass is caught inside the 45-yard line by Gallen. Orion Johnson on the tackle. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 3 for Michigan.
Yeah, you want to take away quick screens, you play press coverage on the outside. Orion Johnson was in press. That means up close to the wide receiver. You'll take away the screen all day.
Michigan 49% conversion rate on 3rd down. That's 12th best in the country.
You're almost thinking, Dave, they're thinking 2-down territory. Al Borges has to ask Brady Hoke to have 2 downs to get 3 yards.
And Robinson, behind his right guard who is pulling, is taken down right at the 1st down marker by Etienne Sabino. Looks like they'll spot him just short. It's 4th down and 1.
Mame's their best puller, number 65. The Buckeyes rallied it and did not allow Denard Robinson to fall forward, but I absolutely agree with this on 4th down to go for it. I mean, you're playing for the victory.
But the last 2 times you had Ohio State pinned deep, they committed all these problems and gave you good field position. Why, if you don't give them good field position here on their 43?
You can always go the hard count, but you're going for the win. You're playing to win. You're sending a message. There's the hard count.
And it's Hopkins over the top. The up man gets the 1st down to the 40-yard line.
The whole key to short yardage is surge. You're going to watch the Michigan offensive line get their pads lower than the defensive line of Ohio State. When your pads are lower, you'll get movement, and Hopkins, good forward lean, stretches for the 1st down.
Devin Gardner back in. So again, Denard Robinson will line up at the bottom of your screen. 1st down at the 40-yard line of Ohio State.
Now the fake. They could fake with Denard here, come back with a screen pass to the opposite side.
They will fake and now pitch it to Vincent Smith, and he gets leveled at the 38-yard line. Gain of only a couple. Ryan Shazier on the stop.
Ryan Shazier on the tackle.
And that whole formation is to set things up. You give the ball to Denard the 1st time. Now, obviously, Denard can throw. You got the throwback pitch that we just saw. Also, they'll have a screen off of the fake to Denard Robinson to the backside.
Robinson back in at quarterback and shotgun. Robinson on a rollout. He'll throw low, and Roundtree makes the catch for the 1st down at the 29-yard line. It's an 8-yard gain. Roundtree only 17 catches prior to that after 72 a year ago.
His arm is shaky when he throws on the run. When his feet are set, he throws well. But that time he had his shoulders pointed to the target and was able to be on target and throw a nice low ball where Roundtree was the only guy that could get it. But he gets in trouble a little bit on those rollouts. But I like the fact that he can roll out because now he has the run-pass option before him.
On 1st and 10, it's Toussaint, and he breaks a tackle, finally driven to the ground by Shazier. And after a gain of about 4 yards. So you think Denard's better as a pocket passer than on the run?
Throwing the football?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think he's more dangerous as a pocket passer also. I mean, there's time and place where you roll him out, obviously, because what it does, it eliminates a lot of his reads. He's got a one or a number one read. If that's not there, then that's where he has the run option to take it. But where he's most dangerous is scrambling. You might cover very well down the field, but when he sees the throwing lane, he turns it into a running lane. That's where he puts pressure on defenses.
The play clock down here to... it was ticking down. Now they reset it. Second down. Ball on the 26-yard line of Ohio State. Michigan leading 9-7 after a safety. Offensive holding call by Ohio State in the end zone. Robinson standing in the pocket. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Flags are down. Junior Hemingway with a touchdown catch for now.
Holding. Defense number 10. Penalties decline. Quarters hold it. Touchdown.
Junior Hemingway's second touchdown of the year, a 26-yard reception.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Junior Hemingway's a target or Kevin Koger's a target. Right there, Hemingway keeps running his route, but you know there's some miscommunication when two guys are in the same place. It's easier to cover.
It looked like the hold was against Johnson rather than Shazier. You see Denard Robinson continuing that motion, saying, we got to eat. We're hungry for a win against Ohio State and a spot at a BCS Bowl. Good response by the Wolverines.
So
16 straight points by Michigan to take a 9-point lead over Ohio State. Our BCS standings are brought to you by Tostitos. LSU with that impressive win yesterday against Arkansas. Alabama's got Auburn today. Michigan trying to get it to the top 14, right now 15. And if they do with a win today, they would be eligible for an at-large. They cannot play for the Big Ten championship. That game will feature Michigan State and the winner of today's contest between Wisconsin and Penn State, 3:30 on ESPN.
See this next series, if Ohio State tries to settle down a little bit and impose their will via the ground attack.
Last possession for Ohio State started on its 20 and ended up with a safety. Here's Jordan Hall. And Hall spins out of a couple of tackles. And then lost the ball. Batted around in the air, and it looked like Ohio State got it. And it's Posey who's there for the Buckeyes. That looked like he got his hands on it. A lot of stuff, though, happens under the pile, especially in this matchup.
And that's the third caused fumble in the past 2 weeks by the Michigan kickoff coverage team. See the ball loose. Anytime that ball gets away from your body, number 5 Avery comes in there, puts a helmet on the ball, and Posey saving Ohio State. That would have been maybe a mistake they could not have overcome. Just outstanding job by Michigan special teams the past 2 weeks, creating turnovers. The third, I'm going to say it again, a third caused fumble on kickoff coverage.
From the Ohio State 29, 1st and 10, and here's Herron. Off the left side for about 5 before J.T. Floyd is there.
I think what you're going to see is Jim Bowman, the offensive coordinator, try to settle it down a little bit. They came out aggressive, which is nice, and that maybe will help open up some of the running lanes. A good 5-yard gain by Boom Herron.
First drive for Ohio State went 6 plays, 80 yards. Since then, they have -7 yards on 6 plays. They got 4 on first down. They'll run it again on 2nd and 6. Herron hit at the point of attack and spun down by Mike Martin. Gain of 1.
Boom Herron misses the hole. He should have cut it behind Mike Martin. He did have hole. Watch Mike Martin use his hands. Former state champion wrestler. Gets inside. His pad level is lower than Jake Muir's pad level. He's going to win that battle every time. As a defensive lineman, if your pads are lower than the offensive lineman and whose hands are inside is usually the guy that will win that individual battle up front.
It's over the head of Fragel, the tight end, incomplete. It's 4th down.
Sometimes you have to take what the defense gives you. He has Boom Herron wide open in the flat for the first down. Probably a little bit greedy right here as Fragel is open. Ball's thrown high, but you see number 1 sitting up at the top of your screen. Nobody within 7 yards, and Boom Herron was standing alone at the first down marker. Now you come back to that and say, Braxton, next time they're in that coverage, we have that same situation, dump it to the flat.
Buchanan's first punt was from his own end zone, mind you. This is a booming kick. Gallen backing up, will let it bounce inside the 10, and it kicks out of bounds. Let's go to the studio and check in with John Saunders.
Well, it's time for our AT&T Player of the Week nominee. How about Tyrann Mathieu of LSU? 92-yard punt return for a touchdown, which tied a game at 14-14 that they had trailed 14-0. He also forced 2 fumbles and recovered one of them. LSU won 41-17. Text vote to 55862 from your mobile phone to vote and for a chance to win a trip to the national championship.
All right, John, good to hear your voice. 58-yard punt, and Michigan starts this drive on its 7-yard line, leading 16-7. Here's Toussaint straight ahead. Met in the hole by Storm Klein and pushed back after a gain of a couple.
The spread option offense is still a major part of the Wolverine offense, although they're kind of trying to transition into more of a traditional offense. They know how important it is to keep the ball in his hands, and he's most effective on the called runs off the spread option, not the quarterback power bash like Coach Meyer likes to call it when he does games with us, but the spread options where he's most effective running the ball, that and scrambling.
Robinson will keep on 2nd and 8, and a great play by Orion Johnson at the 11, and the ball came out. Ball out after the hit by Johnson. I think Robinson regained possession. He did. So officially it's a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd down.
What do we see right here? Orion Johnson, unlike Etienne Sabino, comes up in the open field and makes the tackle on Denard Robinson as the ball pops out.
Wow.
Fortunate bounce.
And Storm Klein was right there, and it squirted away from him. That ball originally was about 3 feet away from Robinson, and he got it back.
Did you see the difference? When Etienne Sabino had him in the hole, Denard Robinson takes it for 6 points because of the miss. Orion Johnson made a solid tackle.
Play clock was at 1 in Michigan. Burns a timeout. They had to snap the ball before the end of the quarter. Now 3rd and 7 facing Brady Hoke. Well, Robinson's had some fumble issues the last couple of years, including against Ohio State last year. He fumbled twice, lost one of them. That game wasn't even close. It was 37-7. Ohio State, a win later vacated by the Buckeyes. Here today, it's Michigan leading by 9. Denard Robinson recovers his own fumble on the Michigan 10, averting potential disaster. Still, 3rd down and long for the Wolverines. Ohio State scored first on a long touchdown pass by Braxton Miller. But Michigan has responded with 16 straight points, 2 coming on a safety after a holding call in the end zone. Robinson on the rollout, looking downfield, now takes off, and John Simon's got him. Sacks Robinson back at the 7-yard line. The 7th sack of the year for John Simon, who's having a terrific season. And that ends the first quarter of play in Ann Arbor. Michigan will punt when we come back. ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
With Sports Update, Sunday at 11:30 on 7.
Take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. 3 penalties by Ohio State, including the one that resulted in a safety, as Michigan leads Ohio State for the first time since 2007. They were able to run the football against Ohio State in that first quarter. The highlight, that 41-yard touchdown run by Denard Robinson. Also had a touchdown pass to Hemingway. Potential record crowd here in Ann Arbor at the Big House earlier this year. Almost 115,000 witnessed Notre Dame, and then almost 114 last week against Nebraska.
Just being around the Ohio State-Michigan game, this year has a little bit different feel for your Michigan fan. I think there's genuine confidence. I'm not sure their previous 7 years that there was confidence that they could beat Ohio State. This year, you just can feel it not only amongst the players and coaches who were around, but just around the stadium, walking into the stadium. During the pregame, you felt the energy build in the Big House, and right now, they're not disappointing. Sorry, Dave. This is a vital series for Ohio State now because they have chance for field position.
Auger punting. This one hanging in the air, and fair caught at the 45-yard line by Jordan Hall. And again, some pushing and shoving after the play, and a flag comes down now. 2 flags come in. It looked like that was initiated by Ohio State and Dominic Clark. But there was a second flag that came in, perhaps for retaliation by Michigan.
Following the end of the punt, dead ball, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 5, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So just the one infraction, and you saw Luke Fickell having a conversation with Clark after a mental error here.
I mean, you understand the rivalry, and he got popped right there, which I can understand his frustration, but you must have poise. The reason is not because you get popped, but because you got an offense that struggles, as Luke educates Dominic on the importance of doing it for your team, is because you put a struggling offense in horrible field position, where an offense needs this type of field position if it's not an explosive offense, which Ohio State's offense is not.
So technically it's a 62-yard punt if he had the 15 yards, and that puts the ball back at the Ohio State 30. Can they put together a drive against Michigan, or is it going to come down to big plays for Ohio State? Herring grabbed from behind after a gain of 3. Mike Martin in there again, sticking his face in the middle of the action.
Greg Madison's playing the old-fashioned 8-man front. You're seeing Jordan Kovacs, and he's lining up in the box as an extra defender. The weakness of that defense can be had with short 3-step drops on little hitch routes, little slant routes, tight end option routes.
Greg Madison, certainly a candidate for the Frank Boyles Award. Hard to think of someone more deserving for the top assistant coach in college football. What he's done with his Michigan defense. The same players, really, from last year. Miller on 2nd and 7, and that pass looked like it was deflected at the line by Van Bergen. It was intended for Jordan Hall. He got a piece of it, so it's 3rd down and 7.
Then the zone defense, the weakness is on the outside. Van Bergen, relentless on his pass rush. Good job of awareness coming off the block of J.B. Shugarts and knowing he's not getting there, but getting the hands either in the vision or the throwing lane of the quarterback.
2 for Miller. Quarterback draw. Miller first down and more. Keeping his balance. And Van Bergen finally gets him out of bounds, but after a huge play as Miller takes it into Michigan territory.
When you show blitz and back out, Dave, you're on the back pedal on the snap of the ball. Perfect call for that because the defenders are backing up. Braxton Miller doesn't waste time on a fake quarterback draw, just tucks it and runs, and he's as dangerous as any quarterback in the country with his feet. As you can see right there, fighting and clawing for every yard that you can get. Jim Bowman read Greg Madison's mail that time. He understood that they were backing out in recognition by a young quarterback to find an open hole.
24-yard run for Miller. Big third down conversion for Ohio State. Ball at the Michigan 43. Herron picking a hole. Inside the 36-yard line for about 7 yards. Desmond Morgan makes the tackle. Here's Quint on the field.
And Dave, it was Jim Bowman, offensive coordinator, who told us earlier this week, 3rd and long, look for us to run, whether it's quarterback draws or some read option. Their inability to protect the quarterback, giving up 36 sacks this season coming into this game, makes 3rd and long a potential running down. Dave?
And Quint now, you've got some options, getting 7 yards on first down. And they'll go under center on 2nd and 3. Herron, nowhere to go. Slammed down at the line of scrimmage. Fell forward for maybe a yard. So 3rd down and short. Desmond Morgan there again for Michigan.
Something Ohio State has in their arsenal as far as the offense is a true option with Braxton Miller. Not a bad time to do it. A speed option where we'll take the direct snap and have a run pass pitch, but right here they're going empty formation, and Jordan Hall set up here. Look for a quick swing.
And you got Posey in that bunch formation as well. Instead, Miller a run. Oh, what a sweet move by Braxton Miller. And he gets the first down to the 31. Now you can see the talent level and why, when we had Ohio State week 1 against Akron, why they were so excited about this true freshman quarterback.
Well, you can see right here, get away with a little hold. But Braxton Miller is a true double threat quarterback, and he is going to improve throwing the football. He's got good mechanics and understanding. It's just a matter of getting some receivers with some experience, which will help him as he grows older and matures.
First down on the Michigan 31. And he's to the 26 for about 5 yards. Woolfolk on the stop. And they're starting to get some going here between the tackles with their tailback Dan Herron, who in 3 career games against Michigan has over 350 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns.
A lot of this is set up by the aggressive play calling of Coach Bowman to start the game, throwing on first down. Now they're settling in to what they're most comfortable with, and that's pounding the ball right up the gut.
And this time it's Kovacs firing into the backfield, nailing the running back Herron for a loss at the 28.
Well, Greg Madison's going to have none of it. If you're going to run it, what I'm going to do is bring an extra guy. You see Kovacs coming inside on the play right here, and watch him get his head across the bow. Close the gate in front of the ball. And I promise you this, Greg Madison will not be passive. If you start to pound the football, he's going to attack with his attacking defense, bringing Jordan Kovacs off the corner unblocked.
3rd and 7. Quint said that sometimes Ohio State will look to run in these 3rd and long situations. We'll see what they do here. Instead, play action pass. And wide open was Posey, but the pass was overthrown. Posey beat Countess, and it would have been a touchdown. But Miller missed him. It's 4th down, and it will be about a 45-yard field goal attempt.
A nice job of DeVere Posey, run a little bit of a post. That's a little inside move right there. Turn Countess around. Braxton Miller. When you have an opportunity to make a play, you got to make that throw. That's 2 overthrows, possible 2 touchdowns left on the field by number 5, Braxton Miller. Nice move by Posey, though. Double move.
Drew Basil's long is 47. This is a 45-yard try. And it's good. So Ohio State cuts the Michigan lead to 6 early 2nd quarter in Ann Arbor. Some of the great coaches in the sport have taken part in this rivalry over the last 100 years. Ohio State and Michigan. And our Aflac trivia question: besides their first meeting, when did Ohio State and Michigan feature two first-year head coaches? We've got two first-year bench bosses today, and Brady Hoke and Luke Fickell. Hoke was an assistant and went 5-3 against Ohio State. Fickell, an assistant for a long time for the Buckeyes and a player. He said he lost to Michigan 3 times as a player. All 3 times the Buckeyes were ranked in the top 5. Twice they were number 2 in the nation and lost to Michigan. And a good kick. Odoms will have to take a knee, and it will come out to the 20. Now, speaking of coaches, a lot of speculation that there will be a coaching change at Ohio State and that Urban Meyer will be named the next head coach of the Buckeyes. If that happens, what are your thoughts, Chris?
Well, I think it'd be a great hire. You're talking about a 47-year-old guy who's won 2 national championships. He's from the state of Ohio. Coached at Ohio State under Earl Bruce. Would bring energy and excitement back into the program. That being said, again, I want to reiterate the job that Luke Fickell's done as far as leadership. It's not indicated in the record, but his leadership about the team staying together, the focus on this game, not on him. I would expect nothing else from Luke, who's been a great service to Ohio State as a player and as a coach. Maybe he'll stay on with Urban. Who knows?
From the 20-yard line, Toussaint gets dropped by Joel Hale, gain of about 2 or 3. Well, you mentioned that about Luke Fickell and what the future holds for him. Does he stay on the staff? In what role? Or if you're Luke Fickell, do you look to be a head coach maybe at a lesser school, a non-AQ school?
Well, if I'm looking at to fill a coaching need, a head coaching need, and whether it's at a non-AQ school or any school, I would look at Luke Fickell because of the leadership that he's shown this year, and give him the chance to coach a team with his own guys and his own staff.
On 2nd and 7, Robinson pulling it back, stepping away from pressure. And Robinson dropped short. Now the first down marker by C.J. Barnett. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2. You and I have spent the last 3 months with Urban, spending a lot of time in meetings, out to dinner in preparation for games. And you really get a sense, don't you, Chris, that there's a life balance. I know that's a question for a lot of people out there. Just 1 year away from coaching if he does go to Ohio State and take the job.
Well, I feel that he's balanced now. I feel that he has things in proper perspective. And sometimes it's a lot easier to stand on the outside looking in like he did as a broadcaster to gain that balance. Now the question mark and the test comes is that when he gets back into coaching, will he be able to maintain that balance when everything starts flying?
Here's 3rd and short. Robinson will keep trying to get outside, and he has the first down as he cut it back in, and the ball may have come out again. It did. That's a 2nd time Robinson's dropped the ball. The first time he got it back. Meanwhile, Shazier is shaken up, number 10 in white, and he is starting just his 2nd game because Andrew Sweat, the normal starter, is out with injury. It's Ohio State ball. Travis Howard recovers it for the Buckeyes. That's definitely out, and it was Shazier who forced the fumble.
Deron Robinson looked like he had good control of the football. He had 2 hands around the football, and Shazier's left arm comes in and pokes the ball out. Now you see them fighting for the ball, and Travis Howard coming up with it. One thing about the Ohio State-Michigan game, I'm speaking as experience from a player. For whatever reason, it just happens instinctively, is that the hitting is much more intense and that much harder, which can cause more turnovers.
And Michigan fans just saw on the Jumbotron that it looked close, who had possession. We were told by the replay officials that they will not review in the field of play fumble recoveries as to who recovered it. If it's ruled on the field one way, it's going to stay. So it's going to be Ohio State ball at the Michigan 31, the 2nd fumble by Robinson. And now what do you do if you're Ohio State at linebacker? No Sweat and Shazier out for now.
Well, now you have Tyler Moeller, who's your nickel guy, that he can come in and play the game. You have Curtis Grant, a true freshman that has played a little bit. It's mainly on special teams, and they're in trouble. So I would look for them to go with some type of nickel formation, and Tyler Moeller would probably be their best option.
A big play by Shazier. Gives Ohio State the ball at the Michigan 31. And another pass play. Miller looking downfield. Everybody covered. Miller, a lot of green in front of him. And finally brought down at the ankles by Demmons at the 23. Let's go to the studio.
Time now for our Taco Bell studio update. Georgia facing Georgia Tech. Trying not to look ahead to the SEC championship game. Aaron Murray to Chris Conley for the touchdown. And Georgia stretches their lead to 14-3. Michigan State already headed to the Big Ten championship game, leading Northwestern 10-3.
And here at 16-10, John, Michigan on top, but Ohio State with a 2nd and 2 and a first down run by Herron as he splatters the pile to the 19-yard line, a gain of 4. Now Michigan, number 2 in the country in red zone defense. That will be tested right now as the Buckeyes have momentum. Stoneburner, the tight end, has been a red zone asset. 7 touchdowns this year, and often the target of Miller inside the 20. Quarterback run. Miller's got the 15. Miller inside the 5. Touchdown, Buckeyes! A 19-yard touchdown run. The 7th rushing score for the true freshman Braxton Miller. And it was Shazier who started it with the forced fumble on Denard Robinson.
Basil to attempt the extra point.
Basil to give Ohio State the lead. (17-16). Ohio State. Braxton Miller, true freshman. First true freshman Ohio State quarterback to start at Michigan Stadium. Got a touchdown pass and a touchdown run so far in the 108th meeting of Michigan and Ohio State.
The real winners are
ESPN's College Football on ABC. Brought to you by Chevrolet and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers. Verizon. Experience studio sound with the new HTC Resound. And new Dr. Pepper 10. 10 bold calories, 23 flavors.
Back in Ann Arbor. A half-lap trivia question. Besides their first meeting, when did Ohio State and Michigan feature 2 first-year head coaches? You have to go all the way back to 1929. Sam Williman and Harry Kipke. This year, Brady Hoke and Luke Fickell. We asked each during the week whether they were nervous for their pregame speech. Both admitted that they would be. Do you remember, Chris, as a player, was the coach's speech a little bit different for the Ohio State game than the previous game?
All the coach's speech, when we had Coach Earl Bruce, it was all about the game itself and what it meant and what an honor it was to play in it on both sides.
Another deep kickoff, and this one will sail out of the end zone.
Another wrinkle by Jim Bowman here. This is a designed cutback. They show the option look, and if you're a defender, you're responsible for contain. Also watch DeVere Posey get the key block. But number 88, Craig Rowe, jumps inside. Braxton Miller beats him to the outside. Rowe's job is to force that ball back inside. You see DeVere Posey blocking downfield, and when you get Braxton Miller in space, he will put you on a highlight film with this little shake and bake.
He's not a small guy either. 6'3", 215 pounds. Got a touchdown pass and a touchdown run as Ohio State come back from 9 points down to take the lead midway through the second quarter. Now what will Denard do here? Fumbling on his last touch. He'll keep it, trying to get outside, but Sabino drops him after a gain of a yard at the 21.
You know, if you're Michigan, what you might want to do is start incorporating throwing the ball on first down. The Buckeye defenders are starting to dial in and get a beat on what your running game is. To loosen them up, you must throw to run.
Chris, Michigan has 74 rushing yards, but 41 of those came on that Robinson scamper. Otherwise, they've shut him down. Meanwhile, Toussaint has only 7 yards rushing on 4 carries. Shazier trying to play through that injury out there for Ohio State. And Robinson trying to set up the screen. And it's Koger who turned down Ohio State to play for Michigan. He's from Toledo, Ohio. One of 21 on the Michigan roster from the state of Ohio.
Nice little misdirection play. Often those are run to counter an over-pursuing aggressive defense.
Gain of about 7 yards, so 3rd down and 2 for Michigan. And the Wolverines are 0 for 4 on 3rd down. They came in 12th in the country. Around 50% 3rd down conversions. Robinson in trouble, steps away and runs. Has the 1st down to the 37-yard line. A gain of 10 yards. 1st down, Wolverines.
Good vision by Denard Robinson. We talked about it last week. We're talking about it this week. There's nothing there. 3rd and 2. You're almost defenseless as a defense. As Shazier comes up, would have been the 1st down anyway. You have to play man coverage in 3rd and 2, or you have no shot at stopping the pass. Anytime he sees man coverage, take the throwing lane, turn it into a running lane, and usually good things will happen, like getting a 1st down.
He's at 71 rushing yards, over 1,000 on the year. 2nd straight year he's done that. He'll hand it off here. Toussaint with a big hole. Inside the 30. Finally wrapped up inside the 20 by Johnson.
When you're a big tackle, Taylor Lewan, and you can pull, this is the old tackle trap. You see number 77 come into your screen, kick outside right there. Shazier loses his footing, and Fitzgerald Toussaint, the great open field runner. And what I like about the end of this play, Dave, watch him. Does he go out of bounds? No, he turns his shoulders and looks for contact to get every inch he can get. That's an Ohio State-Michigan play right there.
46-yard run. 1st down at the 16 of Ohio State. Toussaint again, cuts it back again. And brought down after a gain of 1. Domicone and Simon there. Barnett as well for Ohio State.
John Simon's had an outstanding year. Very aggressive, big plays. We've seen a lot of good defensive linemen in the Big Ten, and he could make an argument for being the best in the Big Ten, number 54.
Obviously, they've lost a lot on defense from last year, and then Nathan Williams goes down with a knee injury. Now, Simon has had a terrific year, already a sack in this game.
In my eyes, Nathan Williams was the MVP of that defense last year.
There's 2nd and 9 for Michigan at the Ohio State 15. Off play action. Robinson in trouble. Gets away from one man and now dumps it off to Koger. Bumped out by Barnett at the 11. A gain of 3.
Same play they ran 3 previous plays ago. Just to see Kevin Koger coming across your eyes and behind the line of scrimmage. John Simon initially does a good job of covering him. Loses his vision because of the threat of Denard Robinson running the football.
3rd down and 5 at the 11-yard line.
To the ball down to the right. You see Junior Hemingway in a bunch formation. Here's the bunch. 3 guys close together.
Robinson, and it's caught by Odoms. Did he get the 1st down? They mark him short. It looked like he caught it at the 5 and then got hit backwards. Should forward progress be at the 5? He didn't get hit, stop, and then start running again.
Let's see if he does. It's a good job. He's almost to the 4-yard line when contact is being made.
And did he even catch it? I mean, he didn't have possession there, and that's why they spotted it there, because you saw after the hit by Roby, the ball came out, so he actually did not have possession yet until there.
That's a good call by the officials.
And they'll probably, of course, every play review, they might look at this a little bit further to see if he even caught the ball. It is a 1st down. Well, let's see if they look at this a little bit longer just to make sure that Odom's caught the ball. But you're right. If he did catch it, it's a terrific spot by the officials. First down and goal, Michigan.
See again, right there. Ball secure.
The play is under review.
Okay.
On the field.
His
catch.
It looks like his hand from that angle is underneath the ball. When the hand hits the ground and the ball does not move.
He doesn't have it there.
Okay. See that right hand looks like it's underneath the ball when contact is made and the ball is secure. That's a catch in my eyes. And good hit by Roby. Watch the right hand trap the ball.
Again, the ruling in the field is a catch. We don't appear to have indisputable video evidence that would overturn it. And as we saw on a play that Michigan had earlier in the year against Iowa, if the ball hits the ground, as long as your hands are on it and the ball doesn't move, it's a catch.
That's a catch to me. I want to point something out because I've been watching Shazier. He's limping because Lewan took him and drove him about 15 yards into the secondary on one of the previous running plays. You might want to attack Shazier if they have eyes in the sky and where he is, because he's not at full speed right now. Just something to keep your eye on moving forward.
Following the video review, the play stands as called.
Well, they couldn't confirm it, and that's why they say the play stands as called. First and goal at the 6-yard line. Take another look here. You see the hit by Roby. It jars the ball free, so it's not a catch yet. It looks like it's possession there.
Yeah, that's not even close. That's a great call by the officials and a great spot. And they take their share of criticism right there. They got it absolutely right. Well done.
Nearing the 4-minute mark, Michigan looking to retake the lead. Here's Toussaint. Hit in the backfield. Shazier is there. Travis Howard a corner. Also coming up in run support. No gain on the play.
And they went after Shazier. Lined up on the outside. Did a nice job of defeating his man one-on-one and winning those individual battles to make a good open field tackle on the elusive Fitz Toussaint.
They put Hopkins in the backfield with Toussaint and Robinson, who's in the gun. Robinson will keep. Robinson's in. Touchdown, Michigan. Second rushing touchdown today for Denard Robinson, 16th on the year. Also got a touchdown pass. Our third lead change of the opening half as Denard Robinson untouched into the end zone to put Michigan back on top by 6 on Ohio State.
Anywhere in America today.
Late second quarter, Michigan back on top of Ohio State. Tonight, a Heisman hopeful tries to keep his team's BCS hopes alive. Andrew Luck and Stanford taking on Notre Dame, 8 Eastern on ABC.
Penn State, Wisconsin, and for the championship of the leaders division.
And Denard Robinson now 35 career rushing touchdowns, passing Rick Leach into 5th all-time. With that touchdown pass earlier, he moves ahead of Tom Brady, 7th by himself all-time in touchdown passes.
just more of an effective runner than the beginning of the year, isn't he, Dave? Just seems like he's running with more passion, more speed.
Like a different guy than we saw. We've had him 4 times this year. Jordan Hall on the short kickoff. There's a seam on the right side, and Hall finds it at the 30. Out to the 34, Brandon Hawthorne on the tackle. Our conference update brought to you by Dr. Pepper 10. Chris mentioned the game at 3:30 Eastern. ESPN. Penn State, Wisconsin are playing for the right to face Michigan State next week in the inaugural Big Ten Championship. Winner gets the automatic BCS berth. And BCS has had 2 Big Ten teams each of the last 6 years and 8 out of the last 9. So there's a good chance that'll happen again. Will it be Michigan as an at-large? Depends on how they fare today against Ohio State. Here's Posey out in the flat, trying to get their star receiver involved. Just his 2nd game back from suspension, and he gets 8 yards.
This is something different. This is an automatic. This is a check between Posey and Braxton Miller, because offensive line run block. At times, Braxton Miller just rises up, sees the corner off, and they've got an automatic screenplay right into it, and it's a good read by Braxton Miller and Posey getting on the same page.
2nd catch for Posey. We've also seen him used a couple times as a decoy to draw defenders. They'll run it on 2nd and short as Herron drives through Desmond Morgan to get the first down to the 47, a gain of 4 yards. Michigan with 2 timeouts, Ohio State with all of its timeouts. Inside 2.5 remaining here in the 2nd quarter.
You get the feeling you're at a heavyweight fight. There's been a punch, counter punch, punch, counter punch. Both of them going at it, giving everything they have.
For all intents and purposes, this game is Ohio State's BCS game. They've been to a BCS bowl the last 6 years. Miller dumping it off to Herron. That time he took his check down. Gain of a handful before Morgan makes the tackle in Michigan territory at the 47-yard line.
3 timeouts left for Ohio State. Plenty of time. You might want to get a little bit more of a sense of urgency about you.
They're going to go empty here. 5 wide on 2nd and 5.
Let the quarterback draw off this look.
Only one defender, Demmons, in the middle of the field for Michigan. Miller to throw, and that pass over the head of Hall. He would have had a first down, but it was too high again. He's been high and long on several occasions. It's 3rd down.
Well, that's the throw that he has to make. And the thing that's frustrating is he's more than capable of making that throw. If you're a Buckeye fan.
So is it nerves? Is it fundamentals? What is it?
I just think it's still being nervous and still getting into the flow of the game and being a true freshman.
Miller on 3rd and 5. Finds Hall, who's knocked out of bounds right at the first down marker by J.T. Floyd.
This was the same route where he threw to Reed Fragel in the 1st quarter, where he overthrew Reed Fragel and he had Boom Herron for the first down. They come right back to it, and this time he recognized the check down close to or at the first down marker. Watch the difference. It's only Stoneburner's going to run the flag. Now he's going to run the 7 cut or the flag. This time he recognizes where Jordan Hall is at the first down marker, comes off the deeper route to a 2nd option and delivers a catchable football.
It's got to be encouraging as a coach when you see him make the right decision the next time.
Well, I'm sure they said, hey, Braxton, we had Boom in the flat in the 1st quarter wide open for a first down. Keep those chains moving. Absolutely. It shows growth.
And this is close. And it's going to be a first down. He hesitated, Bill Lemonier, the referee, because it was awfully close, but it is a first down for Ohio State. All of its timeouts remaining, and 1:28 on the clock.
He's been impressed with both teams, again, on their offense, responding to challenges and punching right back. As you see Brady Hoke looking at that spot.
Again, he could call a timeout and challenge the ruling with respect to a first down, but he's not going to. First down, Ohio State inside the Michigan 45, and now the officials will stop it. Timeout Michigan, so they will challenge it.
We have a coach's challenge regarding the spot Rewarding the first down.
Keep in mind, it's got to be indisputable video evidence to overturn the ruling on the field. Easy for me to say. Back in a moment.
John Saunders back in the studio. Coming up on the Capital One Halftime Report, I'll be joined by Jesse Palmer. We'll talk about the NBA. Looks like they're back, pending a vote. Wisconsin has a huge matchup against Penn State, headed to the Big Ten Championship game, and all the other huge matchups of the day. Dave, back to you.
Yeah, John, great news on the NBA. Here, Michigan on top of Ohio State. It's 1st and 10 for the Buckeyes. Let's watch here where Jordan Hall goes out of bounds. He's not out yet until there, and you see the ball. It's right at the first down marker. The ruling on the field stands. There was not enough video evidence to overturn that, so it's a 1st and 10 for the Buckeyes with 1:28 left. Now, Michigan loses a timeout and loses its challenge. You get one coach's challenge over the course of a game.
Drew Basil has a long of 47-ish here. That means the ball needs to get to the 30-yard line to match that long.
He made a 45-yarder earlier in this game. And Miller to throw on first down. And he's going to go deep. Got a man there. It's caught. Touchdown, Posey. First touchdown of the season in just his second game. DeVere Posey, 43 yards. We talked at the outset, the difference maker that Posey is. And we're seeing that in a lot of ways here in the first half. Basil to give Ohio State the lead again, and our 4th lead change of this opening half. 24-23 Ohio State, 1:21 left in the half.
Michigan is vulnerable where at the post. Couple things. First, watch Braxton Miller's eyes. Here's where they're vulnerable at the post. You're going to see Woolfolk, number 29, is safety. Let him inside, getting beat on a double move. But also, Braxton Miller's eyes. He had all kind of green to take off and run. Watch him buy time with his feet, trusting DeVere Posey, the veteran, the senior, the guy that's a deep threat and an impact player, steps up and makes the plays. And you think they didn't miss him for the first 10 ball games? Think again, especially that guy, number 5. But Braxton Miller showed poise and confidence and trust in his receiver to stay on a route where he could have easily taken and run that football day for positive yards. Waited, and delivered a strike.
Well, Braxton Miller, his 9th start, true freshman, here in the big house, over 110,000 people. He's held up pretty well in the first half. It, as you said, helps when you have a guy like Posey to throw to, because prior to this game, the leading receiver was Stoneburner, the tight end, with 13 catches. You had players that had more receptions by themselves as the entire Ohio State team coming into this game. Odom's on the return, going to get hit short of the 20. Michigan with one timeout and 1:16 to work with. ABC Tuesday is an all-new Last Man Standing, and it's nominated for the People's Choice Award for Best New Comedy. Tim Allen is Last Man Standing. All-new Tuesday, 8/7 Central on ABC.
If you're Greg Madison, you go in at halftime and get the post fixed, because it's been open all day and Ohio State's attacking it. If I'm Michigan, I do not play safe. I stay aggressive with my play calling and with my offense with 1:16 left.
And if you don't, Ohio State's going to use timeouts.
Absolutely.
To get the ball back. Vincent Smith is the back next to Denard Robinson. From the Wolverine 18-yard line. Design run by Robinson, trying to be patient and find a hole. Tackled at the 23 by Orion Johnson, so it's a pickup of 5.
Orion Johnson on the tackle.
And we would imagine if Michigan doesn't get anything here on second down that Ohio State would use a timeout. Robinson looks to be shaken up. Comes out of the game here.
There were some pads cracking on that last hit as Orion Johnson from his safety position comes up and delivers a strike.
So the clock stopped here. Official timeout. So Devin Gardner will come into the game for Robinson.
Well, you eliminate the aggressive offense with Devin Gardner coming in cold off the bench, and you're going to see this shot where Orion Johnson comes in and puts a face mask right on the side of the head of Denard Robinson.
Also looked like he landed on the ball, too, but they are looking at the face of Denard Robinson, the right eye there. So now Gardner in the game. He's thrown 23 passes on the year. He's run it 25 times.
Handoff right, handoff left.
Well, Ohio State, if you just hand it off, they're going to call timeout. Trying to get the ball back. There's Toussaint. And hit at the 25, and down he goes. And let's see if Ohio State calls a timeout. Not going to. Does that surprise you?
I think you're happy with where you are taking the lead in. I would probably call timeout and at least try maybe to block the punt. There's time left as the clock will wind down.
And you got 2 timeouts. You use one, and then you force Michigan run the ball with a backup quarterback, then call another timeout. What a great first half in this great rivalry. 47 combined points, and Ohio State leads by 1 at intermission on the road. Here's Quint Kesnick down on the field.
Coach, what happened on that last touchdown pass?
Well, we didn't play very good coverage, obviously, and we're giving him too much time back there, and he's a dangerous guy anyway. He's looking down the field real well, and he's got great movement, so we got to do a better job of rushing the passer and then, obviously, coverage.
Yeah, that's their second long touchdown pass of the first half. How do you clean up the post pattern?
Well, you got to play it better. If you're a corner, you got to get at the upfield shoulder. If you're the guy free safety in the middle, you should be on top of it.
What just happened to Denard?
He just got one of those pellets, rubber pellets in his eye. He's fine.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Dave.
Quint, Michigan allowing 15 points per game. That's 6th in the country. But in that first half, they give up 24 to Ohio State and trail by 1. As we go to the studio, the Capital One halftime report. John Saunders and Jesse Palmer.
All right, Dave. Dave, thanks a lot. We'll rejoin you in the second half for just a moment. Jesse, you know, the Michigan coaches probably fell into a dilemma last year, like many coaches do when they have sort of a bad team coming back. They say, you know what, we've got everybody coming back. That's the good news. The bad news is we got everybody coming back. What changes did they make?
You know, I think that this Michigan team has been the surprise team to me this year, and it's because of their defense. Greg Madison has done such a good job with his schemes this season, confusing opposing offenses. Early in this game, there's an uncharacteristic coverage bust, leads to an Ohio State touchdown. I think for the most part, they've done a very good job at the point of attack. They must do a better job in the second half containing Braxton Miller inside the pocket. If they are going to win this game, make Braxton Miller beat you throwing the football. The inaccurate true freshman quarterback is going to have to make more plays. Certainly he had a touchdown pass to Devere Posey at the end of the half, but he also missed 2 long touchdown passes in this half as well.
Michigan playing for perhaps a chance to go to a BCS game as an at-large team. They won't get a chance to play in the championship game. That will go to the boys from East Lansing. Michigan State knows they're already in, but finishing up the season against Northwestern, Kirk Cousins, who's had a great year, finds Keyshawn Martin 46 yards.
Kirk Cousins has had a great career. He's the winningest starting quarterback in Michigan State history. Nice job by Keyshawn Martin making a tough catch in traffic.
Bell would punch it in on the next play, and then Martin here takes it off the bounce, returns it down the right sidelines, 57 yards and a touchdown.
This is a big game for Michigan State. Certainly they've already clinched a berth in the Big Ten title game, but a win today would give them the outright championship for the Legends Division and their first back-to-back 10-win seasons in school history.
Hard to believe. And the teams that will be playing to face them in Indianapolis, 3:30 Eastern time on ESPN and ESPN3, Penn State and Wisconsin. Monty Ball, already 30 touchdowns this season, looks to extend his Big Ten record. And as we go to Palmer's playbook, you know, everyone looking at this game knows that Wisconsin's going to run the ball and run it very well. But do you think Penn State has a chance to do that as well?
If Penn State is going to win this game, they're going to have to run the football. And they're going to have to do it from conventional sets, but they're going to also have to use the Wildcat formation. And it was a wrinkle they used against Ohio State last week in a win, and as a result, they ran for 239 yards. They have 2 wide receivers in Curtis Drake, Bill Belton, 2 guys that were running quarterbacks in high school that run this offense. I love the Wildcat for Penn State because I think it gives them a lot of advantages in the running game. When you're running a Wildcat-type formation, the threat of a running quarterback provides an extra blocker at the point of attack, and it forces the defense to have to defend an extra gap up front. A long touchdown run here by Stephon Green last week. Take another look after the mesh. The threat of Curtis Drake running to the right forces two Ohio State defenders to freeze. That opens up a giant lane up the middle. Stephon Green off to the races for a 39-yard touchdown. Now, in the Wildcat formation, a lot of times with slow mesh points, there's slow developing plays, and that buys time for pulling linemen and wide receivers to get downfield into the second level of the defense, latch on to blocks, and open up lanes for the runner. You see here, slow mesh point. There's a pulling tackle. There's a receiver downfield. Three blockers in the second level locked up. Curtis Drake doing a nice job buying time off to the races for a 38-yard gain. Penn State has to run the football. If they can maintain possession, they can limit the possessions for Russell Wilson and that explosive Wisconsin offense. And also by running the football, Penn State gives their defense a chance to stay fresh each and every possession so they can win the point of attack up front. They're going to have to try and limit Monty Ball, a guy that's scoring a touchdown 1 every 8 times he touches the football. It's remarkable.
And to go into Camp Randall and win. If Penn State does that, they will deserve to go to that Big Ten championship game. Well, if you're an NBA fan, you got an early Christmas present. 2 weeks ago, it looked like things were done and the season was going to go away, but Chris Broussard is reporting that there is a deal for 10 years. Both sides have the ability to opt out after 6. The basketball-related income between 49 and 51% or 50-50, like they've talked about. Training camps would begin on December 9th, and there would be a 66-game regular season beginning on Christmas Day. And you can see those games on ESPN and ABC. And, of course, it's just a tentative agreement. Both sides have to vote on it, but you can bet with players already missing a check. Kobe's already missed one for $1.1 million in one check. These players want to play. Stick around. More to come on the Capital One Halftime Report. We know Georgia is looking ahead to the SEC Championship game, but they had a big rivalry game today.
Welcome back to ESPN College Football on ABC, presented by Kay Jewelers.
Second half from Ann Arbor coming your way. In the 108th meeting, Ohio State and Michigan. The Buckeyes came into this game near the bottom of the country in total offense and passing offense. With Chris Spielman, I'm Dave Pasch. But their pass offense was the story of that first half. In particular, DeVere Posey playing in just the second game after suspension. Chris, he's a difference maker.
Well, obviously, you can see by the replays and when he runs his routes, he can turn defenders around, create separation. And Braxton Miller has been able to find him. When you find DeVere Posey, that leaves other guys open. They've missed a lot of throws out on the field. They had 2 touchdown passes that they've missed. And also DeVere Posey threw the key block to spring Braxton Miller on his touchdown run.
3 catches in that first half for Posey. As you look at Luke Fickell at what could be his final game as the head coach at Ohio State, taking over under what some would call impossible circumstances after the Jim Tressel resignation and all the NCAA violations. You would think if he had had Posey for an entire year that the record would be a little different than 6-5 and 3-4 in the Big Ten. Michigan will get the football to start the third quarter as Odoms has trouble with the kickoff and takes a knee. It'll come out to the 20. Let's take a look at our Pack Life game summary. The 2 quarterbacks shining. Braxton Miller with 2 touchdown passes. This one to Brown. And also a rushing touchdown. You talked about Posey on the perimeter with the block. And Denard Robinson, only 1 incompletion and a passing touchdown and 2 rushing touchdowns, including a 41-yard scamper.
And I would say the first half was the most aggressive play calling all year by offensive coordinator Jim Bowman.
And Denard Robinson starting the second half. He got hurt at the end of the first half. Here's Toussaint, makes one man miss, and Toussaint into the secondary for about 8 yards. Quint had a chance to talk with Luke Fickell at the half.
Yeah, I caught him in the tunnel, running out of the tunnel, and I asked him what was the most significant thing he needed to fix on defense. He said Denard Robinson running the ball, specifically in the red zone, when everybody in the stadium knows that number 16 is going to carry the ball. Also want to give you guys an injury update. Ryan Shazier, the linebacker for Ohio State, went inside, had his brace refitted. They gave him a new pair of pants. I watched him do agilities. He is basically playing on one leg, guys.
And he got hurt when he forced a key fumble that was recovered by Ohio State and led to points. And here's Robinson looking for a hole on the outside. He's dragged down by Tyler Moeller after he got the first down, though, at the 31.
The one way to contain Denard Robinson in the open field, in space, if you can make the one-on-one tackle, that's the only way to contain him. We saw in the first half when Orion Johnson got him. Tyler Moeller gets him there. Etienne Sabino had a shot at him, made Etienne Sabino miss, and the result was 6 points for Michigan.
As we saw, if you get that one-on-one tackle, you get a chance to get the ball, too, because he forced a fumble on Robinson that Robinson recovered, and then you had Shazier force the fumble that Ohio State got. First down on the Michigan 31. And it's Gallen on the wide receiver screen. He is able to get away from a defender, Travis Howard, out of bounds at the 39-yard line, close to 9 on that play, before Barnett gets there to push him out.
It's an interesting formation. You have 3 receivers lined up in a single file line. That's allowed allow 2 blockers at wide receiver to get downfield, get ahead on somebody, and give Gallen space. It's almost like a natural pick play off the screen. That negates the bump coverage we talk about, to take away screen passes, those quick bubble screens.
Here's Toussaint. He's got the first down as Shazier trying to rip the ball away. And then a little extracurricular activity. We saw some pushing and shoving and flags in the first half. Another Ohio State defensive player is injured at the 45-yard line. It's Orion Johnson.
See Orion Johnson there, and you think back and you reflect on some of the decisions that Luke Fickell has made over the past year. He's made a lot of great decisions. I bet you 2 decisions he'd like to have is probably have Shazier starting from the beginning of the season, and probably should have started Braxton Miller from game 1.
It was Joe Bauserman who started the season at quarterback. Braxton Miller, the guy now, though, as Ohio State is up by 1. You see the injury here. Johnson rolled up by a teammate. State down to its 3rd strong safety. Orion Johnson in there for Christian Bryant, who's banged up. Johnson now hurt, so Zach Damacone comes into the game. Get ready for the bowl season with the ESPN Bowl Bound app featuring video news and analysis, the latest BCS standings and weekly projections. ESPN's Bowl Bound app, free on iPhone and Android. Text BOWL to 43776 to download. Will Michigan be playing in a BCS Bowl as an at-large?
From Michigan right there, I test number 16 right off the get-go to see if he's warmed up.
We'll see if 16 for Michigan does it. Instead, he hands off, and Toussaint hit by Shazier. And still able to get about 4 yards to the 47 before he's gang tackled. Bellamy leading the charge. Ohio State looks like it will head to a bowl game unless NCAA sanctions say otherwise. They may not find out, though, until after the bowl season.
Gene Smith did say that they will not self-impose a bowl ban. The athletic director at Ohio State.
And Michigan again trying to get in that top 14 in the BCS standings and maybe an at-large. Robinson keeping, and he gets drilled by Storm Klein close to the first down. He'll be short by about a yard. 3rd down and 1 coming up. What are you looking for here on Michigan's offense here? 3rd and short. They struggled on 3rd down today, just 2 of 6.
Well, that little read option by Denard Robinson where he takes it right up the middle, that's gotten him a first down before. It also got him a touchdown. It's hard to stop for Ohio State, because you have to honor the play fake or the ball going into the belly of the running back, and Denard pulls it and hits it right up the middle.
Robinson on the keeper, dives for the first down to the 45 of Ohio State.
Stop by Ryan Shazier. First down, Michigan.
Again, it's just what we talked about. Where you're going to go up the middle with Denard Robinson. This time you're going to give him the luxury of Omame as a lead blocker to get the first down. Didn't necessarily need a dive, but wanted to ensure that he picked up the yardage for the first.
15th rush by Robinson. He averages about 16 attempts per game on the year. He'll throw here on first down, lobbing it for the tight end Koger. He's inside the 20-yard line. First down, Michigan.
Quinn reported it. Michigan exploited it. Koger, the tight end, working on Shazier right here. There's the matchup. The new safety inside, going to the middle of the field, taking care of his responsibility. Ryan Shazier has to carry the tight end down the seam to allow time for his safety. And you can see right there, he's got a little giddy up in his giddy up, which means he cannot run with Kevin Koger on the pass route.
26-yard pass play. And now here comes a fake reverse. And Robinson trying to get a block. Morgan Robinson pushed the pile down to the 13-yard line. Gain of about 6 yards on first down.
Along with that push, you see that anytime there's contact coming, Denard Robinson is now aware of covering up and protecting that football, which he has put on the ground twice today.
Lost one of those fumbles. 10th play of the drive coming up for Michigan. Last week against Nebraska, the game was close at halftime. They blew out the Cornhuskers in the second half because of time of possession. And they got a good drive here. They're taking up about 5 minutes off the clock. Robinson pitch and the ball on the ground, but it pops up to Odoms, who's taken down by Roby back at the 20-yard line. That's a loss of about 8 yards there as Michigan almost turns it over again.
Boy, nice call by Luke Fickell. They run right into the blitz. Watch this. Tyler Muller's going to hit Denard Robinson right in the chops, forced the pitch, and the timing was thrown off for Martavius Odoms. But that's about understanding and grasping what Michigan's trying to do.
Good play by Roby, too, to get him on the ground. The redshirt freshman corner for Ohio State. So it is now third down and 11.
Bunch formation where Junior Hemingway has been a little bit of an issue for Ohio State.
Robinson to the air. All day to throw. Everybody covered. Now finds an open man. It's Odoms. Touchdown, Michigan.
In the press box. Run, run, run. No, no, no. He's open. Throw it. Touchdown, Michigan.
On third and 11, they get a 20-yard touchdown pass. Odoms, who's become a favorite target of Robinson here in the last few games. Only his 6th catch on the year. Third touchdown. He had one last week against Nebraska. Gets one here to give Michigan the lead back. 30-24. Denard Robinson has accounted for 4 touchdowns today, 2 rushing and 2 passing.
ESPN's College Football on ABC. Brought to you by the 2012 Ford F-150 with available EcoBoost. Visit Ford.com/big score to learn more. John Hancock, the future is yours. And Bud Light, it's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
There have been some games with indelible moments in this rivalry, like Desmond Howard clinching the Heisman on that return for a touchdown. Of course, you had the game of the century back in 06. 1 versus 2. Ohio State won 42-39. Here we've had 5 lead changes, including the latest. Odoms with a touchdown catch. 11th play of that 80-yard drive. And Michigan is back on top.
In a minute, you'll see the impact on defensive coordinators that Denard Robinson has, how he can dictate to a defense what you call. In a second, coming to your television screen.
freshman will kick off, and Jordan Hall, who was a 90-yard kick return earlier this year as the deep man, will get a chance here from the 4-yard line. And he gets upended and body slammed at the 24-yard line. Cameron Gordon with a big hit for Michigan.
Two things we're going to talk about. First of all, John Simon is eliminated from the pass rush because he has to spy Denard Robinson. Second thing, Etienne Sabino playing Tampa 2. That means he has deep middle and he can't jump anything underneath. Take a look at what happens. There's Simon sitting right there. He can't do anything. There's Sabino jumping the underneath route, allowing Martavis Odoms to get behind him. Denard Robinson choosing not to run out. Borges is saying, run, 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 run. No, throw. He does throw it, and Martavis Odoms finishes. That's dictating to what a defense does, taking a 4-man pass rush and turning it into a 3-man pass rush.
Miller was running one way, reverses field, in trouble, and goes down for a loss at the 24. It's Desmond Morgan, a true freshman, making the play on another true frosh, Braxton Miller.
An impact player for Desmond Morgan, true freshman, making his name known along with Countess and a few other true freshmen. Those are the type of players that Michigan will start to get now that Brady Hoke is in charge.
It's really amazing, though, that with guys like Morgan and Countess mixed with players that have been around, that they've gone from one of the worst defenses in the country to one of the best, although struggling here today against Ohio State. Maybe that play will help. And they get Herron here, but he breaks out of there. He's still brought down after a gain of about 3. J.T. Floyd made the tackle at the 27. If Herron could have gotten away from Floyd, would have been a big game.
Now, if you're Greg Madison, you want to see if you have your post defense fixed, and if you're Jim Bowman, the offensive coordinator, you want to see if Michigan has their post problems fixed.
You mean the post pattern?
Yes, sir. Thank you. And DeVere Posey has been an impact player lined up at the top of your screen.
Take off on 3rd and 8, and Miller appears to have the first down before Thomas Gordon slams him to the ground, but it is an Ohio State first down. And remember, Jim Bowman said we're going to run a lot. That quarterback draw on 3rd and long, they do it here and they get the first down.
It's a nice job of the offensive line. Mike Brewster, 4-year starter at center, taking care of business, and Braxton Miller has that 2nd or 3rd gear that a lot of people love to see in a running back. Just kind of hesitate, then bam, blast through the hole when you see it.
How do you compare them to Terrell Pryor? Obviously, they're different in stature, about 3 inches.
I think very comparable.
First down to the Ohio State 36. And Miller off play action, rolling left, lobbing it up there, and Brown makes the catch. First down, Ohio State inside the Michigan 45-yard line.
Defended by Thomas Gordon.
The touch pass by Braxton Miller.
That's a great throw. On the run, rolling left for a true freshman, putting the touch on the ball there, throwing it over the defender.
And again, I think the difference is, and this, if you've watched Ohio State all year, this has to be the most aggressive play calling on first down that Jim Bowman has called the whole year.
22-yard pass play. Here's Herron trying to get outside, reversing field, in trouble. Lost about 3 yards. Jake Ryan had the initial pressure. Van Bergen got him on the ground.
One thing you might want to think about Ohio State, I'm not talking about a play action off the I formation, but a 3-step passing game off the I formation, because the corners are playing off. And if you want to run a hitch or a slant, it's there all day. They like to work the backside of trips, Dave. They like to work down here, the bottom of your screen. This is where they like to throw off this look.
That's where Miller's going. Hall makes the catch, and there's Posey blocking again. And that frees up Hall to get to the 39-yard line. A gain of 7. Kovacs on the stop. Oh, you got that 3rd down and long again. We saw the quarterback draw last time. Do you run it again?
I keep running until they stop it. I mean, Michigan's tried to show blitz. They couldn't defend the quarterback draw because they're backing out. The defenders are helping the offensive line. The last time they blitzed, Ohio State won the individual battles up front for Braxton to get the first down. If you have a little fake quarterback draw and a pass off of it, now would be the time to run that.
There's the quarterback draw. This time they get to Miller and wrap him up at the 36, about 4 yards shy of a first down. So it's fourth down. It would be about a 53-yard field goal attempt for Drew Basil if they choose to kick it.
And he does have a helping wind with him.
The long for Basil this year is 47. He hit a 45-yarder in the first half. They're going to punt the ball here and play for field position. Do you agree with this decision?
Well, I think I absolutely agree with this decision because of your offense. Try to create field position. There's nothing wrong with the philosophy of punt play defense. Score when you have field position.
Gallen gets away from it, and it goes out of bounds. And they will spot it at the 9-yard line. Michigan leading Ohio State by 6 in the 108th meeting in this great rivalry. Don't know if it's Woodson, Boston, but we've had plenty of shoving matches and some punches thrown here today in Ann Arbor.
As the years go by, some questions loom large. Are you prepared for your retirement years, 25 or more of them? Do you have a financial plan for your family that works in good times and in bad times? Having the right perspective can help you answer the big questions. For more than 140 years, Pacific Life has helped find answers for those navigating the path to finance.
When a famous explorer goes missing on the Amazon River, his family goes on a dangerous search to find him. From executive producer Steven Spielberg and the director of Paranormal Activity, Oren Peli, The River series premiered Tuesday, February 7th on ABC. Michigan trying to end a 7-game losing streak to Ohio State. In the last 4 meetings, the Wolverines put up just 27 points combined. Today they've got 30. We still got a lot of time left. Denard Robinson has completed his last 10 attempts for Michigan. He'll hand it off here, though, to Toussaint. Nowhere to go. Sabino is there along with John Simon. A lot at stake in this game. Bragging rights, of course, but also Michigan, a potential BCS at large, and they have not beaten Ohio State since 03. Robinson's had a great day throwing and running. Braxton Miller with a terrific debut in this rivalry, and Posey a difference maker in the first half.
An important note there, if you were to tell Luke Fickell and his staff that Braxton Miller would be 10 for 17 for 157 yards for the game, they'd be ecstatic.
There's Robinson on 2nd and long. He'll take off. And Robinson out to the 20-yard line. Has the first down before Shazier gets to it. And Robinson close to 100 yards rushing on the day.
Well, let's take a little page from Ohio State's playbook. You got a quarterback draw. We got a quarterback draw. Well executed up front. And Shazier just gets enough of them. Well, Robinson takes a 10-yard gain and turns it into a 25-yard gain.
102 officially on the ground for Denard Robinson. Had 105 rushing yards in the loss last year to Ohio State. And here he goes again. Robinson outside the 35. And finally, Cohen pushes him out at the 42. It's a 22-yard run by Shoelace, who lost his shoe on the play.
Watch Schofield, number 75, get the key block. You get a hat on a hat, you have to defeat that. You see Schofield pulling in, kicking out right there with Bellamy. You got big number 72. Hughie sealing off the backside, and Denard Robinson has nothing but green. And Dave, that play has been a problem for Ohio State this whole game. It's the read option where Denard keeps it and shoots it right up the middle.
Let's see if they stick with it. First down at the Michigan 42. This drive started inside its 10. Toussaint push the pile out to the 45. He got about 3 before he's grounded. Michael Bennett there for Ohio State. Well, Brady Hoke, first-year head coach from Kettering, Ohio, 75 miles west of Columbus. He was a Michigan fan growing up. His dad played for Woody Hayes at Miami, Ohio. Spent time here as an assistant, was a part of that 1997 national championship team. Now he's come back. The last 3 years, only 6 Big Ten wins under Rich Rodriguez, who's now the head coach at Arizona. If Hope and Michigan win today, they'll have 6 Big Ten wins this season. Robinson to throw. And a low catch made by Dillio at the 49-yard line. It's a 4-yard gain and brings up 3rd down.
You have options right now. The one option that you have to be concerned with if you're Ohio State is that read option where Denard takes it following a lead blocker up the middle of the line of scrimmage. And also what they like to do on 3rd down is get Denard out on the edge and give him the run-pass option.
Michigan has had this ball for almost the entire quarter, and we talked about the importance of time of possession last week against Nebraska. 3rd and 3. They converted their last 4. 3rd down tries, and Robinson airing it out, and it's incomplete along the sideline. And it'll bring up 4th down. It was Grady who was the intended receiver. And Michigan will punt the football.
Okay, Luke Fickell anticipated Denard up the middle. Did a good job of being aggressive and calling a blitz that was middle heavy, causing Denard Robinson to pull and throw the ball away. An excellent man-to-man coverage downfield.
And remember, he was on a streak there of 11 consecutive completions before that incompletion. As the snap is juggled, it's picked up by Hagerup, and he's taken down at the 31-yard line. Ohio State will have it there. The snap went through the hands of Hagerup. It looked like a good snap from Tom Pomerico. And essentially, it's a turnover. Tyler Moeller on the tackle.
Almost looks like he took his eyes off the ball at the last second. But right there, if he could have tried to punt the ball, but mistakes in big games. Now can Ohio State capitalize? But he did take his ball from his eyes the last second.
So Ohio State takes over at the Michigan 32. Trailing by 6 late in the 3rd. Heron. And dropped by Martin from behind at the 28. Gain of about 4. Dan Heron, senior from Warren, Ohio, playing in just his 6th game. He was part of that group of players suspended. Rushed for over 1,100 yards last year.
You almost get the feeling that Daniel Heron's about ready to pop one. Certainly has that ability.
He's been bottled up for the most part today. He got 4 yards there. They go out of the eye set. And play action for Miller. Steps up. And he'll run. Being chased from behind inside the 20. Inside the 5 before he's tackled by Floyd. 1st and goal, Ohio State.
I don't care if it's Denard Robinson or Braxton Miller. When you have a quarterback that's a dual threat and recognizes Green in front of him, it's such a problem and a burden for defense. You see Morgan right there in no man's land, and frankly not a matchup that's fair for Braxton Miller. He'll win that every time. Just the cutting ability and the natural speed of Braxton Miller.
Final seconds of the quarter. We'll see if Ohio State snaps it here or starts the 4th quarter with a 1st and goal. They will. 30-24, Michigan on top. ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Back in Ann Arbor, our Pacific Life game summary. Braxton Miller has accounted for 3 touchdowns. Denard Robinson for 4. Michigan leads by 6, trying to beat Ohio State for the first time since '03. Michigan's senior class trying to avoid becoming the first to never beat Michigan State or Ohio State. And the Buckeyes in position to perhaps take the lead here. 1st down and goal at the Wolverine 5.
This is the option look. Also the fake option, and Braxton Miller keeps it around the left side.
Miller inside the 5 and down to the 3. Van Bergen and Morgan team up on the tackle. It's 2nd and goal.
Yeah, that pistol formation has been their option offense in the red zone. You want to define yourself as a Buckeye and Wolverine? What are you going to do in the 4th quarter on a goal line stand? Now you will define yourself as a football player in this great game.
It's Herron into a wall of Wolverines at the 2, led by Kenny Demmons. Are you in 4-down territory because you're now inside the 2 if you're Ohio State?
Depends on where your 4th down is coming from. If it's inside the 1, I think you're in 4-down territory. If you're outside the 2 or outside the 1 even a little bit, you really have to consider the field goal. You make it a 3-point game in the field goal as opposed to a touchdown. And your offense has been moving the ball effectively.
3rd and goal for Ohio State at the Michigan 2. Miller looking to run. In trouble at the 5, and he loses a yard. Jabril Black and Kenny Demmons there. And now it's 4th down. You said it. They're not only outside the 2, they're outside the 4. That was a 2-yard loss. So now they bring on the field goal team.
That's an outstanding play by number 32, Jordan Kovacs, being disciplined. He was looking for Stoneburner in the corner of the end zone. Kovacs didn't jump on the fake, played his coverage, forced Braxton Miller to tuck it and run.
Drew Basil, 14 of 17 on the year, including a 45-yard made field goal earlier in the game. This from 21 yards. Tough angle. But he puts it through to make it a 3-point game. First points of the half for Ohio State, and it comes after Hagerup had trouble with the snap. Ohio State stopped Michigan on the 31. Hagerup, though, happy that it only cost his team 3 points. Welcome back to ESPN's presentation of college football, brought to you by Kay Jewelers. Later today, BCS Bowl bids and spots in conference championships are on the line on ESPN and ABC. Ohio State playing now against Michigan at 3:30. It's Penn State, Wisconsin for the Leaders Division Championship. The winner will play Michigan State next week in the Big Ten Championship. 30-27. Michigan leading Ohio State early 4th quarter in Ann Arbor. Basil, after making a 21-yard field goal, will kick it deep. Several of his kicks have gone out of the end zone, but that's what he had the win. Let's see where this lands, kicking into the wind with Odoms deep for Michigan. Odoms straddling the goal line. Crosses the 20 and dumped at the 25. Let's take a look at today's Good Hands play. Brought to you by Allstate. Denard Robinson has had another terrific day running and passing. Don't know if that was intended for Koger or Hemingway, but it results in a Michigan touchdown. And then here waiting, we talked, Chris, about the fact that you think he's better at throwing from the pocket rather than on the run. And look at his numbers today, only 2 incompletions.
His decision making, the only marks against him today is he puts the ball on the ground twice when running the football.
Meanwhile, Michigan has not committed a penalty yet in this ball game. As Robinson looking for some green, but it's not there. As Ohio State, its defensive line coming down, making a play. Hankins there along with Storm Klein. So it's a gain of a couple. You know, we talked earlier, Chris, about how many times the unranked team has gone on the road and beaten the ranked team. What is it about this rivalry where that happens so often?
Well, I just think that there's great confidence on both schools, especially you're talking about an Ohio State team that's beaten a Michigan team 7 straight years. And so they're coming into this game with confidence, thinking they have their number no matter what Michigan's record is.
And no matter what Ohio State's record is prior to this game, as Robinson has Hemingway. He got into the teeth of the defense, was wide open for a 19-yard gain to the 48.
It's also a good job of Denard Robinson throwing it open. Watch Junior Hemingway break to the corner, but Denard Robinson throws it just a little bit behind him, away from the corner, sinking back, or Tyler Moeller sinking back into coverage. You see how Denard threw it away from that coverage, and Junior Hemingway does a nice job of switching his hips and grabbing the ball with his hands.
From the Michigan 48. Here's Toussaint with running room. Toussaint has the first down. He rips through 3 Ohio State defenders and gets 11 yards.
Watch the blitz inside, which opens it up from the outside. And this is Denard Robinson on a read, feeling the inside blitz, taking away any pursuit from the backside of Toussaint. Young man from Youngstown, Ohio, coming up to Michigan and making a difference.
Toussaint closing in on 100 yards. Michigan has not had a pair of 1,000-yard rushers in the same season since 1975. They're close to getting it here in 2011. They go empty on first down. And Robinson to the run. Robinson inside the 35. Dives close to the first down. Tripped up by C.J. Barnett.
It's a planned run all the way by Michigan. The offensive lineman will short set, which means quarterback draw. And again, you can eliminate his yardage if you can make an open field tackle. You saw Shazier, number 10, just lunging instead of getting that head across the bow. Now, that's a lot easier said than done against the shifty likes of Denard Robinson.
Michigan over 200 yards rushing. Run defense has been a problem for Ohio State this year. 2nd and 1. They'll keep it on the ground with Toussaint. He's got the first down, and then, boy, that's got to be a flag. It is. Shazier turned the face mask and ripped the helmet off of Fitzgerald Toussaint. This will be a 15-yard add-on.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 10 in the defense. After distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
Certainly not an intentional, but right there, you've got to come off of that. You've got to feel your hand on the mask and have the discipline not to yank, but to throw it off knowing that the man is already down. It's hard to do, but that just cost your team and your defense 15 yards, and you can't argue about that. You've got to have the discipline to pull the hand off the mask.
First down, Michigan at the Ohio State 13, leading by 3. 10-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Here's Robinson. Trying to stiff-arm a defender, but Barnett wins that battle, and Robinson's lid hits the deck at the 10-yard line.
Kevin Koger and Shazier had a nice little battle right there. And in this game, just the blocks are that much harder. You hear pads cracking. It's the 4th quarter. Instead of getting fatigued as the game goes on, it seems like the energy on both sides go up.
And Michigan may have to waste a timeout here because of the equipment problem. Robinson's helmet.
Play clock at 4.
So they burn the timeout to get Robinson's equipment problems situated. 2nd and 7 for the Wolverines when we come back.
ESPN's College Football on ABC. Brought to you by Kay Jewelers, the #1 jewelry store in America. Every kiss begins with K. And Nissan, proud partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Over 114,000 in attendance at the Big House, 2nd largest in school history. The night game against Notre Dame earlier this year set not only the Michigan Stadium record, but the NCAA record. And the Wolverines leading in the 4th quarter by 3, have a 2nd down and 7. As Robinson gets his helmet fixed, ball on the 10. And in trouble as Robinson gets away from one man, another. Robinson cuts it back. What a run by Denard. Close to the first down. He'll come up just short. Barnett on the tackle. It's 3rd and 1.
Athleticism covers a lot of warts. And right here, you're going to see pure athleticism, pure speed. Shazier's going to have a beat on him. And just that little shake outside, then a cut inside. And the one thing Denard has been doing is always falling forward. And also, he's conscious of covering up and protecting the football so he does not put it on the ground.
3rd down and 1 at the 5-yard line. Ohio State was late getting an 11th man on the field. Play fake. Robinson lobbing wide open. Touchdown, Kevin Koger. Robinson saying, we got to eat. We're hungry. We want a BCS berth. We want to win over Ohio State. Right now, it's a two-possession game midway through the fourth. After Robinson's third touchdown pass, he's responsible for 5 TDs, 2 for Robinson on the ground as well. And the extra point makes it a 10-point Michigan lead.
Take a bow. Al Borges, offensive coordinator for Michigan, showing a formation that has not been seen a lot in the red zone. It's just a little bit of a play-action fake. Koger to the corner. Denard Robinson, outstanding job with his ball handling skill. Good play fake. Koger sneaks away. Blown coverage in the back end because they're sucked up by the play fake of Denard Robinson.
And the man who got sucked up, Howard, was late getting on the field as well. At one point, Ohio State only had 10 guys out there. So he made 2 mistakes on that play.
Usually you're in man defense down there in that situation. Take your eyes off your man in the goal line. They'll make you pay. What a call by Al Borges.
You know, Chris, it also goes back to what happened the last time Ohio State had the ball at the Michigan 5. On 3rd down and goal from the 2. They lose yardage. So all of a sudden your decision's made for you. You kick the field goal instead of going for it on 4th down. Now you give up 7 on defense, and you find yourself down 10.
And conceptually, they ran the same play that Michigan ran on 3rd down. Michigan executes for a touchdown. Ohio State does not.
Both touchdown passes this half have been on 3rd down. As Hall thought about it. And it's a touchback. It'll come out to the 20 for Ohio State. Tonight, a Heisman hopeful tries to keep his team's BCS hopes alive. Andrew Luck and Stanford facing Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish have won 8 of their last 9 games. It'll be tough for Notre Dame to get to the top 14, even with a win over Stanford, and get BCS eligible. Wolverines hoping that they're going to a BCS game. Last time was the 2007 Rose Bowl. It was also the last time they had 10 wins in that 2006 season. Ended up with 11 victories that year. Still 8.5 to go, though. Ohio State has shown some firepower on offense here today in Ann Arbor. And Miller will look to throw on 1st down. And wide open in the middle of the field was Brown. The pass, though, behind him. Now Robert Flores in the studio.
All right, Dave, Kirk Cousins, 2 touchdown passes today, and with that, he passes Jeff Smoker for the most in school history at Michigan State. Both have been to B.J. Cunningham. They lead Northwestern 31-17. Michigan State plays the winner of Penn State, Wisconsin, 3:30 on ESPN in the Big Ten Championship game. Dave.
And here, Robert, it's a 10-point lead for Michigan. Ohio State with a 2nd and 10 on its 20-yard line. But the Buckeyes through on 1st down. And they'll throw again here on 2nd down. And Miller, again, a wide open man. It's Stoneburner in the middle of the field. Takes it all the way to the Michigan 44. Consecutive plays, Chris, where the middle of the field is wide open for Ohio State.
Well, it's a matchup nightmare. Stoneburner can beat speed linebackers. You see right there, Demons loses sight of Stoneburner, and a nice job of moving to the open area. And the patience of Braxton Miller to get him ball in space. But it's all on Stoneburner right there, working off of Demons, who's loses sight and just out there covering rubber pellets, who used to be known as dirt. Stoneburner moves away from him. Delivery of the football equals big yardage.
A little shaken up there on the Ohio State sideline. 36-yard pass play, and it's a screen to Hall. He's got blockers in front. Hall inside the 35. Hall to the 28-yard line. 17 yards and a 1st down before Thomas Gordon is there for Michigan.
The constant feel of a heavyweight fight continues. It's punch, counter punch, punch, counter punch. Which defense is going to step up and make that crucial stop that needs to be made on either side of the ball? Here's their option look, Dave.
3 consecutive pass plays. We'll see if they run it here. Well, Miller stepping back. Wide open is Fredel, the tight end. He's inside the 10 and shoved out of bounds at the 8-yard line on a late hit. Flag comes in. Kovacs hit Fregel as he was already out of bounds.
Talking about Al Borges taking a call. What a call by Jim Bowman. I can't emphasize enough the aggressiveness of his thought process in calling this game.
That ball, unnecessary roughness, late hit out of bounds, number 32. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic, first down.
First penalty of the game on Michigan.
See Kovacs right here. Got a bounce, got to be able to pull up, but clearing everybody out, bringing Reed Fragel matched up on a true freshman Desmond Morgan. Braxton Miller, patient, delivers the ball with good protection.
First and goal at the Michigan 4. They had to settle for a field goal last time they were down here. Herring, he's in. Touchdown, Ohio State. You said it. Terrific play calling by Ohio State on that drive as Dan Herron gets his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year, just his 6th game. 5-play, 80-yard drive that took 1 minute and 23 seconds. And Basil cuts the lead to 3. 37-34, Michigan on top, but Ohio State with a quick score and meeting 108 between these two rivals, Michigan and Ohio State.
Winter wipeout.
Luke Fickell, first-year head coach of Ohio State, trying to avoid finishing under 500 and a non-winning season overall, under 500 in the Big Ten. The last time that happened for Ohio State was 1999. That was also the last time they lost 3 straight games in November. Braxton Miller engineering a terrific drive. Had one bad pass, but otherwise was outstanding, as the future is uncertain for Fickell and a lot of guys on his staff, with all the speculation and reports this week that Ohio State will make a coaching change and that Urban Meyer is the likely head coach of the future for the Buckeyes, as Michigan will start this drive at the 20. And Chris, a lot of people were wondering, how would Ohio State respond with all the distractions? We asked Luke about it. He said, hey, I'm in a bubble. The players aren't. They're watching TV. They're listening to the radio. They've responded pretty well today playing for Luke Fickell.
Well, what he's demonstrated is leadership, an ability to take the focus off of himself, not feel sorry for himself, but put everything on the players in the game itself and show great respect. His players has taken his lead, and the Buckeyes have responded by hanging in here. And by the way, you know, he could be a hero in Buckeye Nation. Guess what? Brady Hoke could be a hero in Wolverine Nation, because they haven't beaten the Buckeyes in 7 years.
Michigan ball on the 20-yard line. Here's Toussaint trying to get the corner. And good job by Simon with pursuit. Gain of a couple. Of course, big picture, you think about the future for Ohio State. And if Urban Meyer is the next head coach, he brings quite a resume. 2 BCS championships. And obviously an outstanding recruiter. When he went to Florida, he and his staff, they really didn't have ties down there. And they ended up getting some of the best players in the country to play at Florida, winning those championships in 06 against Ohio State, and then again in 08. Former graduate assistant at Ohio State. He's been our partner here for the last 3 months. Robinson going to go downfield, and Delio makes the catch. Down at midfield, could not keep his balance, but still a big play, 28 yards.
Delio right here, working on the safety, number 4, C.J. Barnett. C.J. tries to undercut him, and Denard anticipates the undercut by the defensive back, puts enough loft on it. Delio, good job of snatching the ball with his hands. If you're going to undercut, you better make a play, because if that was to him on target a little bit more, he's dancing in the end zone.
Only 2 incompletions for Denard Robinson today. Toussaint in trouble. Runs right into the arms of Garrett Goebel for a loss of 1. Second down and 11 for Michigan.
Now, if you're Michigan, you want to take your time before you snap the football. You want to try to run as much clock as you can as we approach the 5:40 mark. You don't want to be in any hurry. You don't want to disrupt the rhythm that you do have.
Ball on the Michigan 49. They have run for 229 yards today.
Luke Fickell called a timeout. Saw something that he wasn't comfortable with on his defensive side.
Might need that timeout for offense, but taking it here on defense. We'll take it with him. Back to Ann Arbor in a moment. Michigan in the midst of his longest losing streak ever against Ohio State, 2,926 days. The last win was in 2003. John Navarre was the quarterback against Jim Tressel and the Buckeyes. Navarre threw 2 touchdown passes to Braylon Edwards. Michigan raced out to a 21-point lead. Ohio State cut the deficit to 7. Chris Perry with a 15-yard run in the fourth quarter. And that sealed the deal for the Wolverines in a matchup of top 5 teams. Michigan has lost 3 in a row here in Ann Arbor since. 7 straight overall to the Buckeyes. They've got a lead on Ohio State. 37-34. 2nd and 11 at their 49 with 5:24 to go. Both teams with a pair of timeouts left. Shotgun formation for Denard Robinson. And he'll take off. Robinson with running room. First down for Robinson. He gets clocked by Barnett, but hangs onto the ball. A gain of close to 15 and a first down.
The automatic quarterback draw, how you can tell, is the lead blocker leading Denard Robinson through the hole. Take a look at the lead blocker. Stephen Hopkins coming in, leading the block, and Denard Robinson does everything with his feet. You've got to be able to somehow get some type of power rush, meaning no moves inside. Take your lineman back into the quarterback and try to come off to make the play just to defend against the quarterback draw if you're a defensive tackle and interior defensive lineman.
That's the 44th rush attempt in 60 plays for Michigan. From the 37 of Ohio State. Toussaint with running room. Toussaint inside the 20, carrying defenders to the 17 for 20 yards.
It's this old school Ohio State, Michigan, the power O run right up the middle. Toussaint doesn't get touched until he's 15 yards down the field. Running with power and purpose. Fitzgerald Toussaint.
Ohio State had to burn a timeout on defense, so 2 remaining. Clock continuing to run as we approach 4 minutes. And Michigan in the red zone. Here's Toussaint. And this time he's greeted by Barnett for only a couple yards. But the clock will continue to run. Do you expect Michigan to throw it all in this series? You just keep running the ball, Chris, with the lead and take time off the clock.
If they do throw it, you try to run a little bit of a play action because Ohio State's anticipating run, and also keep an eye on the play clock on when the ball is snapped. Every second becomes vital. You see it right now, the little red number blinking at 17. You want to try to snap this probably with 5 seconds to go. Take all the time you need.
Ohio State has to force Michigan to a field goal. Robinson, design quarterback run, cuts it back inside the 10. Robinson inside the 5, it's first and goal. Patrick Omame, the right guard, with a big block to spring Robinson. There's an injured Buckeye at the 8-yard line for the 2nd time today. Orion Johnson is shaken up. How about 25 rushing attempts for Denard Robinson today?
Well, they always talk about, Al Borges and Brady Hoke talk about, well, we don't want Denard to be the main ball carrier. Well, guess what? In a big game, one that you need and define, give the ball to the best player on the football field, and they've certainly done that today.
He has rushed for 2 touchdowns and thrown for 3.
I just want to make an important point. In this game, you are defined as a Michigan Wolverine and as an Ohio State Buckeye on how you play in this game. Those are the rules set by the guys that played long before us, and the guys that play long before us will have that to live up to. That's the rules of this game. That's the rules of your career. You're defined by what you do in the Ohio State-Michigan game.
And we'll see how this Ohio State defense holds up if it can. Need to force Michigan to a field goal attempt. They reset the ball and run the clock after the first down. So by the time Michigan snaps the football, they'll be inside 3 minutes. Only 2 timeouts remaining for Ohio State.
Denard Robinson total of 338 yards today. Now he's defining himself in the Ohio State-Michigan game with that performance.
Taking the play clock down to about 3 before they snap it. Here's Robinson, and he's stacked up at the 4-yard line by Jonathan Hankins. And now a timeout.
You talk about, Dave, if they want to pass the ball, Ohio State is selling out with the blitz. If you have a little bit of a pick or a little play action in your game plan, we know Michigan does, now would be the time to run it on second down.
Ohio State had to call timeout there. Will likely use another one here after second down. As Michigan has a second and goal from just inside the 5.
You know, if you're an Ohio State fan and you're Luke Fickell, you got to be proud of how your offense has played, and frankly how they've been coached offensively this week. This is their biggest offensive, I think, performance of the year, not counting some of the games with lesser opponents. But to put up 34 points against a team that's given up just above 15 points is a credit to how they've come out. And the Michigan's offense is outstanding.
Yeah, Michigan 9 wins, 5-2, trying to become the first team to go 8-0 at home at Michigan Stadium. It's rare that you play 8 home games. The Wolverines trying to close it out with a win over their rivals for the first time in 8 years, and maybe play in a BCS Bowl. 9th play of the drive coming up. 2nd and goal inside the 5. Here's Toussaint. He's to the 1. He's in. Touchdown, Michigan. To see if the knee was down right there. He is short. He is not in. The ruling in the field is touchdown, but they're going to look at this a little bit longer. Watch the ball.
Previous play is under review. The ruling on the field is a touchdown.
Now from that angle, it looked like the ball may have crossed the front of the plane to the end zone.
The camera's not directly down the line, so it's going to have to be strong evidence to overturn it. And remember, the ball has to only cross not the whole white line, just the front part of the goal line.
This is the best angle here. There's the ball. He's down, and he looks to be just short, but it's got to be indisputable.
Yeah.
Video evidence.
That's close. That is very close. I don't know if it's indisputable. That's my point.
Right. As again, the ruling in the field is touchdown.
Now from this angle, that's a touchdown from this angle. Because again, it only has to cross this part of the goal line, just the front part, not the whole goal line. And this place will erupt if it's not overturned. They're hungry for a win up here in Ann Arbor.
If it is overturned, it'll be 3rd and goal on the 1. So still a chance to stick it in on the next play. But I agree with you. I don't know that that's indisputable video evidence to overturn the ruling in the field. Because one angle it looked like he's short. The other angle it looks like he just got it across.
Ohio State did have a big goal line stand last week against Penn State to give themselves a chance.
And even if this is a touchdown, Ohio State isn't done. But obviously they would need either a field goal or a touchdown, and then they would have to get an onside kick. Let's see. He's down there, and again, it looks like from that angle he's not in. Yeah. But the other angle, where you had a better view of the ball, it appeared that it did cross the front plane of the end zone.
Depends on which angle they decide to go with. If they go with both, it almost has to be indisputable, right?
By the way, Toussaint over 1,000 yards now for the season, only starting a handful of games. First time since 1975, Michigan with 2,000-yard rushers in a single season. Toussaint and Denard Robinson today, both going over 1,000 for the year.
Nice job of Michigan's offensive line, firing off the balls, sensing, smelling victory. Nice little power run inside.
And if it is overturned, they've got to reset the ball and start the clock on the ready for play. Sometimes they take a little bit longer on a reversal to look and see how much time should be on the clock, what the down is, where to spot the ball. That's if there is a reversal.
Determined the runner was short of the goal line. The ball will be placed at the 1-foot line. The clock is correct. The game clock will start on the ready for play. 2:37.
Now this for Michigan now, it starts on the ready for play. So the Wolverines do not have to snap it till about 2 minutes on the clock. And now it is 3rd down and goal. Ohio State needs obviously to stop him here. We'll see when Michigan snaps it. They'll be able to take it down, like we said, to about 2:10 or so before they have to snap the football.
For Ohio State, you want to make sure, anticipate that they're going to run up the middle. You want those front down linemen, a submarine, and the 3 linebackers standing back here. You got to be the toppers. I'm anticipating either sneak or Toussaint. You got to get some type of penetration and make Toussaint go up over top with your linebackers, cleaning up the guy in midair.
3rd and goal from the 1. Robinson rolling out, getting away from the defender. Pay dirt! There is a penalty flag down though in the end zone. Penalty marker down.
Watch Tyler Moeller, number 26. This could be a hold against Tyler Moeller, who did have contain.
That would be just the 2nd penalty all day on Michigan. The other one was on a late hit out of bounds earlier in the quarter.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding. Number 65 offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat 3rd down. Following the play. Dead ball. Unnecessary roughness. Number 84. 15-yard penalty. 3rd down.
How about this? That's 25 yards worth of penalties. If you don't get it here on 3rd down, you might be pushed out of field goal range. Their kicker's long is 42. He doesn't have a strong leg. And from here, it would be about a 43-yard field goal.
Right there, you see Omame with the left hand clotheslining Tyler Moeller, who was responsible for contain. Now you're going to see a personal foul late.
After the play here.
Watson.
Yep. Didn't see it there, but anyway, the ball is back at the 26.
And hitting C.J. Barnett. Denard Robinson crossed the goal line, and Watson kind of gave him a shot. Now you work for field goal position. You don't work for a touchdown. You work for field goal position.
3rd and goal, just outside the 25-yard line. Robinson with time. Here comes Simon. Robinson throws end zone. Overthrown, incomplete. 4th down, and it would be about a 43-yard field goal. Brendan Gibbons long is 42 on the season. What a hold by Ohio State. It started with the touchdown by Toussaint, overturned by replay, and then 2 penalties, holding, and then Steve Watson with the unsportsmanlike conduct.
Brendan Gibbons will attempt a field goal.
And if it's a missed field goal, Ohio State will get decent field position. Should be a season long for Gibbons.
Has a little bit of wind helping him.
It's good. Michigan leads by 6. Ohio State has 1 timeout and 2 minutes to work with, needing a touchdown.
execution of fundamentals under pressure. Good snap, good hold. Right down the middle. We know that Braxton Miller is capable of great plays toward the end of ball games, going back to the Wisconsin game and also going back to the Purdue game, where he's led his team down for touchdowns when needed.
Let's see first what happens on the kick return and where you start. But how do you handle this? You've got the quarterback run option, but you only have one timeout, and the clock would stop on first downs to reset the ball.
Well, obviously, you got to throw the football. You have to throw the football. He's had his best day throwing all year, 13 for 21, 229, and has looked sharp doing it. Plus, you have DeVere Posey, who was out the previous 10 games, started playing last week, and has been a major impact player today. Not only if he doesn't catch the ball, you have to account for where he is on the field.
Hall is the deep man. And he muffed it, and he'll take a knee. It will come out to the 20. While we have a moment, let's check in with Robert Flores.
All right, Dave, coming up on ABC or ESPN2, Oregon Ducks battling Oregon State in the Civil War. Coaches Mike Riley, Chip Kelly, Ducks win. They're going to the Pac-12 championship game. Or some of you will see Frank Beamer and Virginia Tech take on Virginia. The winner in this game plays Clemson in the ACC championship game. Back to the Big House and Dave.
And Michigan trying to end its longest skid in the series with Ohio State. It's 7 games. Ohio State needs 80 yards, a touchdown, and an extra point. They could win the game on this drive. Miller to throw on first down, going deep for Brown. It's incomplete. A little bit off target. Demons, a linebacker, covering a wide receiver.
Well, that's the matchup you want right there. Frankly, he was behind Demons, and this is one where you want to see Braxton Miller put a little bit of air under it because the safeties are caught up inside again. Demons had no help over top.
The ball came out of there wobbly and way off the mark. 2nd and 10, Ohio State.
You got to be careful if you're Greg Madison and blitz in this situation, leaving your guys vulnerable.
Miller on the quarterback draw, only gets 4 to the 24. It'll bring up 3rd and 6. Clock running, 1 timeout remaining for the Buckeyes. And now a timeout is called here by Ohio State. He's surprised they used the timeout there.
I think it's that point of a 3rd down where you probably want to get 2 plays called.
All right, so if you're Luke Fickell and Jim Bowman, the offensive coordinator, and you're thinking, okay, we got to get these 2 plays called, what are the calls here? Again, if you get a first down, clock will stop to reset the chains.
Well, I think I like the fact, remember the little check down to Boom Herron, which he did not hit. Then he hit one earlier to Jordan Hall. They run a little 7 route or a flag route, clear the coverage out, then throw it to the open area. Just get the first down, stop the clock, get your play called for the 2nd play. Then you start running and you run your 2-minute offense.
What about the quarterback run again to try to get the first down?
I'd be very careful on that call.
I mean, it's worked a lot on 3rd and long.
Yeah, I know. And again, I would be very careful on that because Michigan knows it worked a lot. And right there, they were ready for it to stop Braxton Miller.
Middle of the field is wide open. Safety deep about 15 yards, and that's it.
Yeah, see, these guys should be back. The linebackers should be back.
Miller going to throw on 3rd and 6. Looking downfield, airing it out. Receiver is there, but it's overthrown. Posey would have had a touchdown. But again, Miller too long and strong.
Boy. See, I don't know what Michigan's doing. I mean, they're staying aggressive, but you cannot match up with DeVere Posey. There's a little double move again. DeVere Posey's been beating him all day on a double moves. Beat him all day on a double moves. But you have to play off. Play deep as the deepest. I mean, they got away with one. And that's 3 open receivers that Braxton Miller's hit on long balls.
4th and 6. At the Ohio State 24. Buckeyes out of timeouts. Out of chances as well. Miller in trouble. Gets away. He's going to run. He leaps. He's hit. Where they spot him. Looks like he got the first down. He's out of bounds. J.T. Floyd on the tackle, but it is a first down. Wow.
See Braxton Miller right here.
He stuck the ball on it. He definitely got it across. Dangerous play there by Miller, but he had to do it to get the first down.
Now Floyd would have wrapped him up. Instead of just body bumping him out of bounds, he could have carried him on his shoulder.
Here comes a blitz. Miller moves away from it. In trouble, though. Van Bergen's got Miller and takes him down inside the 30 for the sack. Clock running, 1:20 and counting. Ohio State out of timeouts. Keep in mind the Buckeyes won a game earlier this year on a Hail Mary against Wisconsin.
Yeah, they're running zone pressures. Now, if you're Michigan, you want to play off, off, off. Deep is the deepest.
There's Miller on 2nd and 12. Gets rid of it. Little behind Devin Smith, makes the catch, but the clock's going to run. It's 3rd down and about 6. Inside a minute to go.
Greg Madison keeps bringing zone pressures.
Ohio State taking a long time here.
That's what Luke said. Get it going.
And they spike it on 3rd and 6. So they waste 15 seconds and then waste it down. What's the point of that?
I have no idea what the point of that is. I mean, you have to have a play called. You have to run a 2-minute offense. In that situation, 3rd and 6, you don't take 15 seconds off and spike the football.
Is that on Braxton Miller, or is that a coaching mistake?
It's on both.
They waste it down. Clock stopped, and it's 4th and 6 again. They picked it up last time on a Braxton Miller scramble. Play clock at 5. Here's Miller. Gonna throw. It's tipped. It's intercepted. Picked off by Courtney Avery. Michigan ball. Being welcomed back to national relevance. Michigan finally beats Ohio State, and perhaps in line for a BCS Bowl in Brady Hoke's first year. First time since 2003, the Wolverines knock off the Buckeyes. Another incredible chapter in the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry as the seniors for the Wolverines finally beat their rivals. And Bernard Robinson leading the charge into the stands, accounting for 5 touchdowns. Quinn Keston down on the field.
Coach, what was going on in your mind when Ohio State had the ball there with less than 2 minutes to go and they're on the move?
Well, it's always a little nervous, but our kids responded well. The coaches did a good job, so it was a lot of fun.
How do you best describe the play of your quarterback today, Bernard Robinson?
I thought he did a tremendous job. I thought he hung in there. I thought he did all the right things. He's a tough guy. He ran the ball physically.
How did your seniors define their legacy today?
Well, you see them down there right now? That's the final legacy.
What's it like for you, Coach, to win 10?
I'm so it doesn't matter. I'm happy for those kids. That's what this game's all about.
Thanks, Coach. Congratulations.
Brady Hoke, I'm sure, is saying, hey, we finally beat Ohio. That's what he's been calling him since he took over as head coach. And at his first try, he gets him here at home. But what a great game.
Thank you for watching the Big Ten.
40-34 is the final. Ohio State 6-6 record, first non-winning season in 12 years. Meanwhile, Michigan's first 10-win season in 5 years, and perhaps headed to a BCS Bowl. Here's the final play. On 4th down, Courtney Avery seals the deal. with the interception. 40-34, Michigan beats Ohio State. College football continues next on ABC, and you got Wisconsin on ESPN playing Penn State. For Chris Spielman, Quint Kesnick, our entire crew, I'm Dave Pash. So long from Ann Arbor.